All right, look, PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it's the easiest way to win cash while you're watching games. Here's how it works. You pick more or less on 2 or more players, and you lock it in. That's it. No spreadsheets, no nonsense. If player picks aren't your thing, you can also pick teams now. Winner, spread, total, all in the same map. Team picks are live in 30 states, including California, Texas, my home state, and Florida. Most importantly, new users use code Speakeasy. $5 gets you $50 in lineups for free. PrizePicks. It's good to be right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Speakeasy, sophisticated sports talk with the best in the game. I'm the large human being standing behind the bar, nicknamed Carebear, Kieran Hickey Simple, and I'm joined here today with 2 gentlemen who played in the National Football League. One of them, Emmanuel Acho. How are we doing, man?
Hey, happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday, beautiful people. To those that acknowledge it, to those that don't, well, we're in the Speakeasy. You could be doing anything. You're hanging out with us. We do not take it for granted. Appreciate the support. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that. Hit the bell button. And regardless of how strenuous your Sunday's been, hopefully we provide a couple laughs, a couple smiles, and all the things. Carebear, turn me up!
Also joining us here in the Speakeasy, the Philadelphia Eagles all-time leading rusher, and also Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Famer and future Pro Football Hall of Famer. I'm talking about 2-5, 2 Live. LaShawn Shady McCoy.
Happy Easter, man. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
It's a big day for me, man. God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
God is great.
I
thought we would
Absolutely.
get a day off. Because he's risen.
He has.
Yes.
But not risen enough that I would get off a day of work.
Yeah, no.
Bet you thought.
I'm saying, Acho said it earlier, Jesus had to rise, so you have to rise as well and come to the Speakeasy.
Wow.
Speaking of a man that had no problem rising up out of his bed today, just like Jesus did on the 3rd day.
So,
I'm talking about Social Sneeze. Trey in the building. How we doing today, Trey?
What's happening? Listen, Social Sneeze is checked in. I'm ready to have a great show. I don't think that nickname is going anywhere anytime soon.
It's
the chat
not.
sure as hell won't let me live it down. So let's have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're going to have a great one here in the Speakeasy today. The show is absolutely loaded. We have to start off with some big news out of the National Basketball Association. It was announced the Lakers' Austin Reeves is out for the remainder of the regular season and expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a grade 2 oblique injury alongside Luka Doncic. These litany of injuries are just lining up for the Lakers. Kendrick Perkins made it known he thinks this is a first-round exit for the Lakers. JJ Redick also came back and said both of these guys are going to try to make a comeback, so it's our job to extend the season so they can come back. Luka and Austin Reeves both being out. Legion Hoops put out this tweet saying, #1 option LeBron James tonight put up 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 15 assists, doing what the GOAT does. But they came up short to the bum-ass Dallas Mavericks. I can say that because they are my team. Fellas, do you guys trust LeBron to keep the Lakers alive long enough in the playoffs to have both of these guys return?
I don't. And you're asking too much of LeBron if you expect LeBron to keep these Lakers alive and keep these Lakers afloat. LeBron did everything he could on the day. Dude dropped 15 dimes. Dude dropped 9 boards and had himself 30 points. Going into the second half, he only had 4 dimes. He realized, you know what, I got to turn it up. He only had 1 board going in the second half. I got to turn it up. Finishes the game with 9 boards. Finishes the game with 15 dimes. Finishes the game with 30 points. LeBron did everything he could and still couldn't beat a 25-win Dallas Mavericks team. Why? Because he doesn't have enough help. Think about the players now coming off of the bench. At the point at which you got to make Rui a starter, now you got Bronny coming off the bench. Now you got to play Jackson Hayes substantial minutes. When you saw what happened last year playing Jackson Hayes was so bad he had to play himself onto the bench, and now you got to play him substantial minutes. Make it make sense. LeBron James is already being tasked to do too much. So it is an unrealistic expectation to ask, to hope, to beg, or to plead that LeBron James would keep these Lakers afloat. Hopefully they get a favorable matchup. What is a favorable matchup? Maybe the Houston Rockets, because the Lakers should have confidence beating the Rockets, beat them the last 2 times they saw them, although they were at full strength. I don't know how you can expect a 41-year-old LeBron to do much more than he did tonight, and even tonight against the Mavs, it wasn't enough. There's just no way.
I mean, it's the first game Acho. I don't know.
Talk to me.
I'm going to say yes. If anybody can do it, LeBron James can do it. I don't care if he's 41, right? He had a great game against the Mavs, 31 points. 9 rebounds, right? 15 assists. So he did his thing, right? But it's the first game. That's cool. My thing is now it comes to LeBron James and JJ Redick.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton. Look, you said you don't be used like Capella. Now you get a chance to score more opportunities to shoot the ball, more opportunities for you to come alive. So I do think they can pull it together. I think JJ Redick is a good enough coach. You know, everything is perfect when you got LeBron and you got Austin Reeves and you got obviously Luka. But when they're not there, we're going to see how the real coaching goes. Yep. How can you find a way to win games when you have two guys that's hurt? Some of your main scorers, some of your main players. And I think if you could hold off just a couple games, because we're not asking LeBron James to go out there and win every playoff series. The question is hold every.
Got to win one. Can he get him to the second series?
Even with.
That's what they're saying.
At all.
Yeah. They saying Luka's going to be out to the second series, and now they're saying Austin Reeves going to be out to the second series.
See, I was hoping that one of them will be back. That's the thing. One of them can be back.
Yeah.
But if that's the case,
you're asking a lot. I mean, my thing is, and Kieran, you asked a good question, but Shady brought up a better point. Do you trust LeBron plus JJ to get it done? Because I just don't know. At the end of the day, if you've ever played chess, if you've ever played spades, I can talk whatever language you want to talk. Let's talk spades based upon the audience. If you've ever played spades, if your hand is bloody and all you got is red cards, you can only win so many books. It don't matter how great a spades player you are. If that hand is bloody, you can only win so many books. In chess, if all you got left on the board is pawns, you can only make so many moves. At the end of the day, JJ Redick had to start Laravia. He had to start Luke Kennard. Your hands are tied. Yeah. So
those serviceable guys though.
Serviceable, but the problem is nobody can get a bucket one-on-one. Kennard can't create his own shot. I like Rui a lot just because I like his caliber of play. I like it. Rui can't create his own shot. DeAndre Ayton hasn't developed a post move he can consistently go to. He can't create his own shot. Yeah. And Luka's not there to throw the lob to the big. Jackson Hayes can catch the lob, but LeBron isn't as potent at throwing it. He's just not looking for it nearly as much. Laravia can't create his own shot. Bronny can't create his own shot. Vanderbilt, even if he creates his own shot, he can't make his own shot. Kleber can't create his own shot. So now you only have one person, hence why LeBron James has 15 assists. Only one person on that court could create their own shot. And that, to me, was the problem, because now you got Kennard trying to take step-back threes with a lefty. It was no good. You got Rui hoping that LeBron can drive and kick, and that's why Rui started the game 6 quick points, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. So, to me, Kieran, the tension is JJ's hands are tied. Yeah. Nobody can create their own shot.
He can't do anything, though. I'm sorry. Either the Lakers are cooked or this remains the team that they have to throw out there in a playoff situation. Now, look, no Marcus Smart also helps. It's amazing how much he's really become the entire defensive identity for that team. But tonight, I want to take you guys through what happened tonight in this game with the Lakers, right? JJ Redick put out there Luke Kennard for 41 minutes. He had a 15-point triple-double with 16 rebounds. Jackson Hayes played 27 minutes, more minutes than DeAndre Ayton did. DeAndre Ayton didn't have a bad shooting night offensively, at least a little bit, but Jackson Hayes had to play more. Jackson Hayes dropped 23 tonight.
Yeah.
LeBron nearly had a 30-point triple-double.
And they lost.
Rui Hachimura dropped 20 tonight. And they got a fat-ass L on the win-loss column. Yeah. This team has no opportunity to make it past a Rockets team in the playoffs. They're cooked. They're absolutely cooked. There's nothing they can do about it.
What if one of them come back early, though? What if Austin Reeves?
I don't like
Reeves comes back,
because what you taught me. I didn't know until last year. Shady told me last year on another show, Acho, watch Reeves in the playoffs. I used to bet on Reeves. I'm hitting regular season. Reeves, good for 22.5 points a game. If Luka, LeBron don't play, Reeves good for 28.5 a game. Shady said, watch him in the playoffs. What you talking about, Shady? Still bet him. What? The way they had Luka in prison behind bars? What? It's crazy. I can't trust Luka, especially it looks like the Lakers are going to get a 4-5. I can't trust Reeves.
I was about to say,
looks like the Lakers are going to get a 4-5 matchup versus the Rockets. Look at what Amen Thompson did to Reeves the first time.
You don't like that matchup. But I mean, he hot and cold. I mean, I think the team is better with him than without him.
Of course.
Yeah. So, I think if you could just, I don't like that matchup because then you go against the Rockets. They play good defense, right? And I feel like the difference in the playoffs, it's not the scoring for me; it's the defense. I mean, everybody's defense rises in the playoffs, and you watch the way that Austin Reeves plays in the playoffs. His defense declines. So, but I do think if he is there, they have a better shot. That's what I'm saying.
He's a young player that might have to take his lumps, but Austin Reeves is just not that good of a defensive player as it is. I think Luka comes back. It creates a situation where offensively, the Rockets might have to score with them.
Correct.
But I just don't think that the pieces
And
around them.
he controls the game, too.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I'm saying
yes,
if the players around them have a game like they did tonight and Luka's also present, I think they can win against the Rockets or at least give themselves an elongated series where Reeves might be able to come back. But
Here's the
it's just
thing
not the same
I'm
team.
realizing as we're talking, and shout out to y'all watching the Speakeasy on Easter. We appreciate y'all. What I'm realizing while talking is the Lakers got to outscore people. But with this team, you can't outscore people and you still can't stop people. Bruh, they was just calling pick and rolls on Cooper Flagg, and if you put a little on him, he would just post you. If you put a big on him, he go into the cup. Yeah. Cooper Flagg first step right by Jackson Hayes, who to me is the more athletic of the bigs, probably the most athletic big on the Lakers roster. Cooper went straight to the cup and punched on Jackson Hayes. I said, hey, if Cooper Flagg is doing this, what Ant-Man gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, if you can't stop Cooper Flagg, and shout out to Cooper Flagg, a phenomenal rookie who we'll talk about here momentarily, but Shea's alive, Jokic is alive, KD is alive, Ant-Man's alive, Devin Booker's alive. This is the Western Conference playoff picture we're talking about. All of these players are alive in the West. If Cooper Flagg can give you an easy 43, 44, 45, imagine what somebody who's really bona fide and grown gonna do.
Yeah, no, it's tough for them defensively right now. Marcus Smart, like I said, him being there versus not being there, that's everything.
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
everything.
Remember, hold on real quick. Who was he talking about when we was talking about Marcus Smart? Remember that argument? I was like, yo, y'all telling me you're trying to compare this player to
It was
Marcus
someone.
Pat Bev.
Not even close.
Was I right?
Yeah.
That was
No, you were right. Not
Because
even
the thing
close.
is, like, I feel like the IQ part, the defense, and then the leadership, the confidence.
Yeah.
Dudes like Marcus Smart, they put more confidence in everybody's heart around them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We're having a Drew Holiday, Marcus
Bro.
Smart, and Pat Bev conversation. not that
ain't
Pat Bev's
Drew,
not like, not that Pat Bev's not like solid defensively. Made us all
Marcus
defensive
Smart,
teams.
yeah.
But Marcus Smart, we're talking DPOY. We're talking Drew Holiday. We're talking multiple time champion.
Makes the right passes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
Holds his players accountable. Like, they need. How long is he going for?
He should be back.
He should be back soon.
I thought he was going to be back on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
2 games ago.
Yeah.
I think he helps out. They're talking about the leadership role,
Yeah.
right? You know.
If nothing else, he helps out because now Kennard can come off the bench. Luke Kennard, he shouldn't be starting on a championship or even a conference finals team. Kennard can now come off the bench, let Smart start. Now to everybody's point, now the Lakers are a more competent defensive team. But Kieran, where you at?
Yeah, no. Also, you mentioned J.J. Redick earlier. He had a media availability and was talking about the Luka and Austin Reeves injuries that occurred in the second half against OKC. He said, as a coach, you go on the information you have. Luka was medically cleared. When Austin came back, I asked directly. I thought he was hurt. I was told, no, he's medically cleared. Tough information here for Lakers fans because both of these guys injured means doomsday. But do you guys blame J.J. Redick for the Lakers' misuse of these two guys in the second half of that game and their injuries?
I blame J.J. Redick a lot of it. Because the head coach, the operative word is head, JJ, you are responsible for that roster. The Thunder were beating you down by halftime. You knew by halftime it was already blouses, and yet you let the players convince you, based upon the JJ Redick interview, you let the players, Luka and Austin Reeves, convince you to go back into the game. Make that make sense. That's the first thing that makes no sense to me. But we see this continually with JJ Redick. With all due respect, versus the Dallas Mavericks, why is LeBron James playing 39 minutes? You just lost Austin Reeves to an injury. You just lost Luka Doncic to an injury. And you're going to play LeBron James, the second most minutes of any player on the team in the first game after Austin and Luka's injury? Like, make it make sense. He's a 41-year-old man, and you still lost to the Mavericks. The tension I have with JJ is like, JJ can't adequately assess if you have the possibility to come back or not. Against the Thunder, there was no chance in coming back. Austin Reeves was holding his oblique in the first quarter. I was watching with the keen eye, had money on him. Holding his oblique in the first quarter. Played through the rest of the game, gone for 4 to 6 weeks. Luka Doncic, you're down by 30. Why is he still in the game? And then LeBron James today is really what confirms for me JJ's a little in over his head. There's no way you should be playing LeBron James 39 minutes when you just lost your first and third best player to fatigue injuries. Shady knows better than anybody, and Shady didn't get hurt. A hamstring injury, soft tissue injuries, those are fatigue injuries. Ankle, a torn ACL, those might be contact injuries. Luka got a hammy. That's soft tissue. Austin got an oblique. Soft tissue injuries. Soft tissue injuries are wear and tear. And you want to play the 41-year-old man 39 minutes, man.
Man, are you trying to win a game or not? I just want to know, are you trying to win a game or not? I'm asking you a question before I answer. Are we trying to win a game or not?
Unintelligently, but yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
The hard part is trying to be a coach and be a smart coach. You know what? Is my players, are they healthy? Are they hurt? But you trying to win the game, right? And in the midst of trying to win the game, you making calls, you're looking at the other players, you count and you bake on your medical team to let you know if guys are hurt or not. I remember playing in games and Andy Reid or whoever the head coach is at the time is on the offense trying to get the plays, and let's say I get hurt. And I can hear him always saying, "Hey, is he up? Is 25 up? Shady up? Is he down?" Right? But I'm still looking at the game. And it's the same thing with basketball. It's the same thing with JJ Redick. He's trying to win the game, and he's dependent on his medical staff. If you heard what he said, yeah, Luka looked hurt, but medically, he was cleared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a hard one. Yeah, it was down by 30, and yes, he could have took him out. But in basketball, they have so many quick runs. It's 30, it's 15, always now it's down to 10. Boom. You back in the game. So I don't fault JJ Redick. You know, I think every little thing matters now that they're getting close to the playoffs. And you are the Lakers. You know, I think little small errors you have, you can't because you are playing for the Lakers. It's like being with them big brands. Every little small thing, they make it a big deal. So I guess judging, but it's like he's trying to win the game.
Kieran, you are a LeBron James fan, and you're a basketball student. Obviously, you didn't grow up watching the Michael Jordans of the world. You were a thought. But being a LeBron James fan and seeing the soft tissue injuries that LeBron James has had on the rare occasions he's had due to wear and tear, and then also watching LeBron James get to the point where he's had to tap out in the playoffs. Go back to the Denver Nuggets series 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when Jamal Murray and co made him tap. Minnesota Timberwolves last year made him tap. He's just older. What are your thoughts on how JJ has handled the situation and how he handled LeBron James following 2 players' injuries 2 days ago?
Well, I mean, I think it's twofold, right? So one, yes, there is a heavy usage that you had with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves over this last stretch, but also this last stretch is what put them in position to be the 3 seed in the first place. So you ended up having the team go on this crazy run. Luka's out there dropping 40 a game for an entire month. Obviously, he was not going to be able to uphold that. That all came crashing down against OKC, and it seemed like after the back-to-back going into that game against them, everybody's body's just falling apart at this point of the season. Maybe LeBron's isn't because LeBron got to sit out the first couple of months of the season, and he's kind of been able to load manage while also playing this entire season. I just think it's a tough situation now. I don't think it's all JJ Redick's fault. He's trying to get his team to compete, and with the Nuggets right there breathing on their back, I think they like their matchup more against, especially earlier on against the. I'm sorry, the Rockets were in the 6th seed, but then the Timberwolves ended up falling back. But I think they like their matchup and they like being the 3 seed in that situation, which is why he had those guys playing hard. And also, like, Acho, you can't have it both ways. You can't be upset that players are sitting out because of load management and whatnot. And then whenever guys are going out there and playing 15, 16 straight games as hard as they possibly can and their bodies are falling apart, complaining about it. Because now it's a JJ Redick issue.
Here's I think it's not black and white, right? In this studio, we're taught there's a gray in the middle.
The gray area.
Now you want to be in the gray area.
That's crazy.
When I watch teams like the Thunder, and obviously the Thunder have one of the deepest, if not the deepest rosters in all of basketball. Hell, when I watch the Spurs, they just know how to manage that roster. Chet Holmgren is not playing 39 minutes. J-Dub, coming back from his injury, he's not playing 39 minutes. SGA, unless he's chasing numbers, and he do be chasing numbers, by the way, I'll be watching. He's not playing 39 minutes. That's just not happening. Ever. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Like, meanwhile, LeBron James just played 39 minutes following his 2 players getting hurt. So, Kieran, I'm not asking.
He had to.
But here's my problem. If you think with that short-sighted mentality, and JJ's still a young coach, if you think with that short-sighted mentality, that's how players get hurt. With that, like, man, he got. I need him in. I need him in. I think did LeBron play the whole 4th quarter?
I believe so.
I think he did.
Yeah.
He's trying to win.
And mind you,
he's
Cooper
trying
Flagg
to win the
did.
game.
Cooper Flagg is 19 years old, and the Mavericks found the moment.
They're not trying to win.
Hold up. They're not trying to win.
They're not
trying to win.
Either way,
Facts.
the Mavericks found 3 minutes to get Cooper Flagg out that game. The lead it did shrink, but the Mavericks found 3 minutes to get 19-year-old Cooper Flagg out the game. And JJ, you couldn't find a minute or 2 to get Bron out the game?
I did see that they talking about Luka going to Europe to get some treatment.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they're saying he might have gone to he might be going to Europe to
Get him
get
back.
some treatment. But yeah, I mean, look, Coop's also 19. He can go out there and do that. But like, hey, they're just trying to get Coop experience at this point. Like, LeBron is in a position where they're trying to play for something. What are you going to give more minutes to Bronny? Come on,
I'm just thinking like I'm thinking about the long game.
Yeah.
Like coaches tell you, it's a long season, it's a long game. I'm thinking about the aspect of, man, these 39 minutes, LeBron's gonna feel that. Maybe not this game, but the next game and the next game, bro. Because dude dropped.
I just don't think it's a championship year for them.
And 30, 15, and 9.
Yeah.
Well, you won't know if they don't.
Well, this is also a thing. This could be the last couple of months of LeBron, or the last month of LeBron James' basketball career. Maybe he wants to go out there and play that hard. You never know.
But
you never know.
This is where a coach has to intercede, and I hate what you just said because you might be right. But what if you play the JJ Redick sounds? You don't have to. Y'all can take my word for it. JJ said we talked about it at halftime. I talked to Luka. I talked to Austin at halftime. They said they wanted to go for it.
Then let him go.
That's not. That's here. A coach is supposed to be. What
You are. Oh my gosh, you are hypocritical.
What did Mahomes went to read? And Shady knows this better than I did, but Shady wasn't on this team. I don't believe. Mahomes went to read after he messed up his ankle.
Yes.
Coach, I'm good. Reed said, Mahomes, go get an X-ray. You're not going back in the game till you get an X-ray. He went in, got an X-ray. Chiefs had to play Chad Henne. Chad Henne marches 98 yards down the field.
Not the same.
But what it is it's a player saying, the only point I'm making, no two things are exactly alike. So the only point I'm making is players will always say, I want to play.
No, but
and it's the job of a coach to say, fair. But it's the job of a coach to say,
you talking about,
so should they have load managed more with those guys? You would say?
If you're down by 30, I think there's competence to not playing.
No, but I'm saying like the back-to-back before that.
No, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the
back-to-back.
I'm mad at if you're down by 30, Jaden Daniels this year fracturing his arm. If you're down by a certain number where it's incomprehensible to come back from, pull them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't play him for a game.
It would have looked crazy if they would have laid down, though. They would have been like, damn, JJ had to bench those dudes.
But they did.
Then you would have been in here criticizing them.
It is a lose-lose. But to me, what's even worse is like the Thunder beat you down and hurt you.
JJ just cannot win in your eyes. That's the problem.
He can, bro.
He just can't.
I mean, he's doing a good job. I just don't think managing the player's health. But anyway, where you at?
He's one of the greatest basketball players at the University of Duke. And speaking of one of the greatest basketball players at the University of Duke, Cooper Flagg was one of the big stories here tonight.
Nice.
After dropping 51 in his last game in the loss, 45 points tonight, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 14 to 27 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 13 of 15 from the three-point line, and back-to-back 40-plus point games for Cooper Flagg. The 19-year-old is balling right now. He passed Luka Doncic for the second most 35-5 games by a teenager in NBA history. He has more 35-5 games than the rest of this year's rookie class combined. Cooper Flagg is absolutely balling right now. The question for you guys is, though, is he the best teenager to play in the NBA?
It's either Cooper Flagg or LeBron James. Cooper Flagg averaging 20.8, I believe 6 and 4.5. 6.6 and 4.5. LeBron James averaged 26 and 5. So to me, Cooper Flagg is the most fundamentally sound teenager we've ever seen. LeBron James has Flagg in athleticism. I think Cooper Flagg has LeBron James in fundamentals. I think Cooper Flagg has LeBron James in post moves. I think Cooper Flagg has LeBron James in knowing how to get to his spots easier. LeBron James was going to out-athlete you as a rookie. He was going to jump over you. He was going to get by you. His first step was unbelievable, especially for a rookie. But when I think about the fact that Flagg knows how to get to his spots. He's played such a cerebral game, knows how to manipulate the smaller guy, knows how to go by the bigger guy. I think Flagg is more fundamentally sound than LeBron James was as a teenager. The tension for me is LeBron's jump from year 1 to year 2. I don't think Flagg will be able to make, because by year 2, LeBron was averaging what? 27?
He's 27, 7 and 7. So
right, that's the gap. But if we're just talking about their teenage years, rookie years, teenage years, I think Flagg can compete with Luka and LeBron.
So the question is, who is a better teenager, right? Rookie. Okay.
I can give you some more context here, though, as well. So both of them started their career, same age, 18 years old. Cooper's still supposed to be in college as of right now. He left a year early. Cooper's 9 days older than LeBron was whenever he was a rookie. So
got it.
18 this year, turns 19. Going into his second year, LeBron was 19. Cooper will have the same exact thing, turning 19 going into that second year. Also, LeBron first year averaged 25 and 5. Cooper this year averaging 24 and 6.
Yeah.
And about Cooper's a more efficient scorer. LeBron better at steals, less on blocks. They're very, very similar though in rookie seasons.
So I would go with LeBron James though. First of all, Cooper Flagg is really, really good. And I love how in the beginning of the year what Jason Kidd was doing with him. Had him at the 1. Everybody's like, why is he playing the 1? Now you see him now. He's dribbling ball well. He's scoring at will. They're running the offense, throwing with pick and rolls, put him on the block. He's doing a lot of different things. And I love that for him. And also, he had a year of college.
Yeah.
People don't really understand how good that is to have, right? That's a lot of luxury. So look at going first, then you go to Duke. Duke's a really, really good school. getting developed, getting coached. LeBron came from St. Mary High School, dude.
Facts.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
You ain't coming from high school playing
facts.
against kids. So I gotta give it to LeBron. LeBron James, when he got to Cleveland, though, he was different. And Acho is right. It was more about being an athlete, but he was just scoring at will. Just watching him play the game and learning. And then he came from high school. He didn't go to the college. So I'm going to go with LeBron James for that reason.
Yeah.
The thing for me is LeBron's game, it has a higher ceiling because LeBron's game has wild athleticism. Cooper Flagg is athletic. LeBron James had wild athleticism.
Athleticism we've never seen before.
Never seen. So LeBron James' game has a higher ceiling. But I will say Flagg's game, in theory, should deteriorate at a lower pace. Sounds crazy, LeBron's in year 23. But because Flagg's game is just so fundamental, like Flagg is going to go to the right, spin move, and shoot a floater over your face.
You say it's going to deteriorate at a slower level?
In theory, it should, because LeBron's game...
There's no theory that anyone's game deteriorates.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
LeBron just dropped 30. He's 41 years old.
You're thinking with 23 years of knowledge. I'm talking about if you're just watching
theory, so you're saying a more athletic dude is supposed to...
Correct. But LeBron was able to pivot his game and then pivot his game.
But I mean, he's so much more, I think, more developed than LeBron. Shoots the 3-ball better. I guess all around this a more complete game. LeBron was better and more athletic. But Cooper Flagg, I'll give you an example. When he was coming out, it had a lot of hype. But if you talked to a lot of basketball people, they didn't think he would be like this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow. So even me, I thought he was going to be really nice. But like this, like he's running the show in Dallas. I know a lot of people are not running the show in Dallas in football or basketball, but he is doing good enough. And then I think about where's he going to go from here. He's only going to get better. Better defensively, better offensively. He started learning his game. And then he's connected with Jason Kidd. That matters though. So I think he gets better. I don't know if he's as good as LeBron. If I think LeBron as having a better rookie season to me, coming from Shady High School. But Cooper Flagg is the real deal.
I think it's more nuanced, right? So one, I can't judge Cooper Flagg on a teenager when he has another season of being a teenager to go. Can he take that same jump that LeBron did? We'll see. If he can take that same jump, then he'll be in the conversation with LeBron. But as LeBron goes, as far as teenagers go in the NBA, he's in a class of his own, and I don't think he's going to be touched for probably ever. Now, Cooper coming into it, we just talked about the 18-year-old season. This year, I think he's actually a better defender than what you saw out of LeBron. But like Shady said, Coop had the ability to have his acclimation process be a whole lot easier. Going to Duke, having that year of college basketball at 17 and 18 years old, then coming to the pros is a whole lot better of prep than it was coming from St. Bates.
But that's not the conversation. If you're having a conversation of like who had more resources to be better, I'm with you. I'm disregarding all that.
You're just saying who's better.
Who's better at rookie teenagers? Like, of course, Cooper Flagg had way more development. First off, it's 2026. LeBron came into the league, I think, in 2003. So just from a pure standpoint of like growth in basketball, growth in the gym, growth in knowledge of the game, technology, Flagg's at the advantage. I'm just saying who's better. And the fact is, Flagg went out there today after a 50-point game. Against a team that knows Flagg is the only threat. And he went out there and gave you, 45, 9, and 8? Like Cooper Flagg outplayed LeBron James, and LeBron had 30, 15, and 9. And Flagg was the best player on the court. The other thing, as Shady was talking, I realized this. Best thing to happen to Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving being out. Because Cooper Flagg has a green light that he would not have had otherwise. Cooper Flagg has leeway that he would not have otherwise. And Cooper Flagg now has freedom that he wouldn't have otherwise. If Cooper Flagg is there, the team ain't just sitting there forcing Cooper Flagg to get 50, which he did 2 games ago. If Kyrie's there, rather, or if Anthony Davis is there, Cooper Flagg would have been the second option, and some days would have been the third. So this last 2-month stretch for Flagg, I think, is going to pay such great dividends to him long term. Because you as a Mavericks fan, you came in here talking about it like now they took the leash off of him.
Yeah, he was expected to come in as a third option on a potential contender, right? But then with the injury to Kyrie, him not coming back, AD being hurt the entire season, it never really manifested into that. So now he's in a position where he does get to just go out there and ball. And before he got hurt and was sitting out for a couple of weeks, he was doing this before. He had his 40-point game. He had his 30-point games, multiple. And now you're seeing just a completely different skill set. And like Shady said, he has the opportunity to develop. Guys, look at how much he's developed this season. He started off this year with a bunch of people calling him a bust because he couldn't hit the side of a barn. Now he's out there and his offensive game is just taking a completely different level. I think he can be one of the best teenagers to ever play. But when we talk about best teenage rookies, let's limit it to that conversation, because teenagers in general, what LeBron did in those 2 seasons is very, very tough. Now, teenage rookies, it's a conversation between LeBron, it's a conversation between Kevin Durant, it's a conversation between Luka Doncic maybe, and then also LeBron James. So KD came in, dropped 20, was not as efficient of a scorer. It's his worst season efficiently, but that's most rookies whenever they come in. Luka Doncic came in, dropped 21, 7, and 6. His first year, it was unbelievable. But the reason why I give LeBron the advantage over all of these dudes, look at the era that he came into basketball. It was the dead ball era. Most games were ending with a final score less than 105 points, and that's where he came in and was dropping 20 every single game. And he was doing it on the defensive side of the ball. Came back that next year and developed. So I love Cooper. I think Cooper's amazing. I think his play style is very similar to that of a LeBron James, just a lesser athletic version. But I think it's a fun problem to have as a Mavs fan. I'll say that much.
Do you anticipate Flagg taking a LeBron James type year 2 step? Going from 26-5 to 27.
Is he LeBron James is essentially what you're asking me. I have no earthly idea if he's LeBron James. But yeah, I don't.
He ain't LeBron. Like,
he's not. Yeah, I wouldn't. I expect that from LeBron
too. Another, like.
I know.
But I don't want to compare him though. I don't see that. There we go doing it again. There's nothing wrong with giving Coop his flowers and giving LeBron his flowers.
Yeah, I think Coop's better defensively.
Because I think with LeBron,
have you watched him play?
I watched him play.
Bro, he's amazing defensively.
I do, but I don't think he's better than LeBron defensively. This is me as young LeBron.
I think Bron got better later on.
She chasing stuff.
Coop be doing it too though.
Like LeBron.
Bro, cool.
You know what?
I'll find some stuff.
I don't even want to do it. If you think so, that's cool. But I'll just say this real quick. I do think that next year, having Kyrie there and Anthony Davis, things going to be a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think he'll have to average 27.
No AD.
And I don't think he'll.
But I'm saying, like, so, okay, the rookie year is supposed to have Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. That one there, cool. Now you're going to have Cooper Flagg on this thing. You're going to have Kyrie.
Yeah.
So now I feel like he has a chance to grow and be that next thing because now you don't have to get dependent on him. And a year like this is like confidence builder. You know, they're not doing well, but for him, he's like, I can do this.
I can do this.
And now I can do it. I can carry him.
Yeah.
Give me some pieces. And you're talking about a player in year 2. When's the last player we like, damn, in year 2, you get him a piece or two and he might can carry this team to the
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he's in a different space like that.
Yeah, AD's gone. He got traded to the Wizards. But Kyrie.
I was saying this year.
This year. It would have been interesting to see what could have happened, though. But I don't think he would have developed like this if it wasn't for those guys being hurt, though, too.
Does
he's a green light.
have the requisite freakazoid size and or athleticism that's necessary to be a Jokic, necessary to be a Wemby, necessary to be a Shea, necessary to be an Ant-Man, necessary to be a Giannis, necessary to be an Embiid? I'm just naming kind of the last MVPs over the last several years. Does he have the requisite either freakazoid size, Jokic, Embiid, Wemby, Giannis, or freakazoid athleticism, Giannis, Ant-Man? Does he have because he's 6'9", 6'10", a really good athlete, but he's not Ant-Man athleticism. He's not Giannis athleticism. He's not Jokic size. He's not Embiid size. He's not Wemby size. So does he have that requisite to be a first-team All-NBA perennial caliber player, or are we just, or should we just be content?
I think he's a
Paul George-esque.
I honestly, he doesn't have the bag that Jason Tatum has, but it's very Jason Tatum-esque in terms of 6'9", athletic enough, can do it on the defensive side of the ball, also can do it on the offensive side of the ball. Yep. His mid-range, and also the thing that I think he has that Tatum doesn't, I don't think he's going to have the dependency on the three-point shot that Tatum does at times. I think he's going to try to get busy in that mid-range, which is where he makes his bread and butter.
He in the post.
Yeah.
And it's like he's unique because most scorers don't score how he does, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even his 40 tonight, the way he had his 40, it ain't your typical, either I'm shooting a whole bunch of threes.
Correct.
So, I think he's that has that textbook game. Fundamentally sound.
I think.
And there's nothing wrong with that because you can score like that as well. And he plays decent enough defense. So, I would say, like
Jason Tatum,
I like that.
But
not as many three balls.
Well, I'll say this. Even speaking unbiasedly as a dude on the Mavs, I don't think he's an MVP caliber guy long term. Who's to say that he isn't, though? He's 19, 18, dropping 45. Yeah, it's hard to say that now. Who's to say he isn't? His offensive game does have developed there, but I think at minimum, he's a guy that's a phenomenal two-way player. He's going to make some all-defensive teams in his career. And also, he can do he can do a lot to build a championship team if you end up building that type of roster around him. So I don't think he's going to be an MVP guy long term. Just my personal prediction. But I do think he's going to be a guy that's going to be a second team, maybe sneaks into a first team, like a Jason Tatum type player if he can figure it out.
Like Luka, if I'd asked you, Luka would have had an MVP by now, you'd say yeah, right? Because the way he scores.
Yeah, well, Luka's an anomaly though.
But what I'm saying is everybody's different. You'd have thought Luka would have had a MVP. Okay, I look at him the way he plays. In 4 or 5 years, I think he will get MVP because I'm learning. Maybe, okay, you can be scoring on that, but if you're playing great on and solid on every part of the ball, defense, offense, and your team is winning, and let's say they get the number 1 seed, because I can see him get the number 1 seed with the right pieces around him. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be the number 1? Why wouldn't he be the MVP?
Can I ask you this? Well, I'll let you go first, but I have a question I want to ask the room.
Okay, I was going to kind of ask a question as well, but I think it's early to tell. I could see him in the MVP conversation. I don't know that I'm ready to stamp him as just like MVP. Like as a rookie, Tyreek Evans averaged 25-5 as a rookie, and he burnt out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to stamp him as an MVP.
It didn't like this though.
It didn't look like this.
He's from my area. It didn't like this.
No, I agree. But he still averaged 25-5. And the conversation was, Tyreek's next up. He's gonna be good. He's this. He's that. He's strong like LeBron. He's athletic. He can score the ball wherever he wants. I think he'll definitely be in the MVP conversation. What I want to know from y'all is, can you see Cooper being a number 1 on a championship team? Because when LeBron came into the league, if that's the MVP teenage comp that we're making, we came into the league seeing LeBron like, oh yeah, he's going to be a future MVP for sure. He's going to be the number 1 on a championship team, and he's going to dominate this league. I don't have that same type of like gall and audacity with Cooper Flagg.
The reason I think for me it's too soon to tell is because what I've learned more about basketball in the last 6 years kind of in doing a show every day is come playoff time is different. I need to see how Flagg does against a dude like Lou Dort for 7 games.
Right.
I need to see how Flagg does against Jalen Brown for 7 games.
Yeah.
I need to see how Flagg does when the Spurs. I didn't realize how deep the Spurs were, bro. I really watched them.
Yeah.
I need to see how Flagg does against the Spurs when they just throwing bodies at him, on a consistent basis. Yeah. Watching him tonight against the Lakers, I'm like, oh hell yeah. Lakers was trying, but Lakers don't have a defensive player that could sniff a top 20 all defensive team.
That's healthy,
so,
right?
You feel me? That's healthy, exactly, without Marcus Smart being there. So based on watching tonight, sure. But I know enough now to know you got to see how somebody plays in the playoffs to be able to answer that question.
But everybody goes to their growing pains, right? For every superstar we could talk about, I could watch them in the playoffs. They didn't show up. They first or second playoff runs.
Right.
We can say that. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying where he's at right now, looking how much better he's going to get, the coaching and development he's going to get from Jason Kidd, having this confidence year where, damn, I can score at will when I want to, compared to when I started and everybody was saying, oh, is he a bust or not? And where he is now, I do think in the next 5 years we're going to see a legit Cooper Flagg like we say now.
Yeah.
And as a team, because one thing I will say, they've done well in the past of getting players there, right? I don't see the freaking Dallas Mavericks being a bad team in basketball in the next 5 years. Shit.
Yeah, the tough part is our pick situation is absolutely fucked. Thank you, Nico Harris. You absolutely, Nico Harris completely screwed us. But this year you can potentially get a top 3 pick to pair him with if you get lucky in the lottery, possibly sitting around top 5. I think Cooper can be, and the only reason why I can't say one way or the other, the dude's dominated at every single level. I think he was kind of underrated in high school going into his junior year. People knew he was good. They didn't know how good he was. Then he ended up balling and was like, oh, this dude's for sure the number 1 guy. Goes to college a year early at 17, 18, wins the Naismith. Wins the best college basketball player award in the league. But I think it's a situation where he might be an MVP caliber guy moving forward. I just don't know. As of right now, I'm with you, Trey. I'm not as confident.
The only reason I'm not sold is it's just, does he have the athleticism or the size?
Can he show up in the playoffs though too? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Like we got to see. There's a lot of guys that disappear
around to win a series.
Yeah, that's a big fact. Trey, what's up with these super chats?
Listen, man, we definitely got a lot of super chats.
Talk to me.
Our guy Javante Crawford 7559 jumped in with a $50 super chat. It says, "Shout out to my guys. Might not be top topic, but if the Big Ten sweeps football and basketball, women's just won and beat y'all Longhorns.
Relax.
Are they the best conference in college sports? Much love. Speakeasy."
I think the Big Ten has probably been the best conference in college sports, especially since the expansion. Yeah. So, like, SEC, SEC, haha, kiki. But when Ohio State really got up top talking football, and then Michigan snuck a chip in there.
Yeah.
How could
now IU? Come
then,
on
and
now.
then Alabama
now my
did this?
Hoosiers? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten and Oregon's been up top. I think the Big Ten's probably been.
Florida won a basketball national championship last year. Football, baseball is not even remotely a conversation. The SEC is by
SEC,
far
right?
and away
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
So like right now, I think the Big Ten is having like a phenomenal run, and in most sports they're really really solid. So 18 teams also too compared to like the smaller conferences.
That helps.
Do y'all feel like it's more of the expansion or NIL? They were kind of hand in hand, but
I think expansion. I mean, UCLA is not a Big Ten team up until 2 years ago. So, like, you get UCLA, you get USC, you get some other powerhouse programs that have money to spend, private school and public school.
Yep.
So, because of the expansion, I think that helped tremendously. And also, you're hitting several coasts. You know what I mean? Like, now you get the West Coast, plus you got everything Midwest, plus you got you get to tap into a lot.
yeah, that's a fact. So listen, Benjamin Todd, 5731. Shout out our guy.
What up, B. Todd?
He said, speaking of players that put heart into their team, as Marcus Smart does, Stephen Curry is back and put up 10 points in the first half. Golden State Warriors are back. Play-in teams better watch out. He is playing with Seth Curry for the first time.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, Steph Curry came out there and had a quick 8
Come on,
points.
Warriors.
Yeah, he had a quick
Come on, Warriors.
The kicker is, like Draymond said, the Warriors are forever a play-in team. They got to get out that play-in.
They do.
Which is going to be tougher this year.
It is.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think the Suns are in the play-in. The Warriors are in the play-in.
Clippers, I think, are there.
Yeah, Clippers, I think, are the 8. And then I don't know
Yeah.
who the 9 is. Suns are the 7. I think Clippers are the 8. I think the Warriors are the 10. I don't know who the 9 is. But, yeah, that play-in going to be interesting.
It definitely is. Big Terry LLC said, hey, Sweet Pea, when you join in the Discord. That was for you, Karen.
Sweet Pea is
Sweet
crazy.
Pea, yeah.
You just bought yourself 2 more days.
Oh, damn.
Y'all come to me with some respect, some damn decorum. I might actually join. Nah, I just haven't had time to play. That's been the problem. This week for sure.
AR187 RS says, Shady, Macklin, Deshaun, Vic, the Mount Rushmore Dream Team. Reason why I watch every Eagles game. Fly, Eagles, fly. And then our last one from my guy, Central Cast,
Central
said,
Cast.
as an avid chess player, you can do a lot with pawns. You mentioned chess and spades.
Central Cast. No, you can't.
They can elevate to become queens.
With
Yeah,
just
but I'd
them
rather
on the
have,
board,
but
though,
I'd rather have queens.
Just follow him for a second. He continues to go, they can elevate to become queens, like Carebear in jail. He's someone's pawn when he first gets there. But then, when he finds the right person, he becomes a queen.
Wow, he calling you.
Bro, you're weird.
Hey, I tell him that all the time.
You're like
I tell him
actually
that all the
weird.
time.
Like, stop being that weird though. Like, you're
So what's he trying to say? You a queen?
cool. Yeah, no, that's pretty weird.
In jail with a queen? That's even
Yeah,
crazier.
It's weird that you fantasize about that, brother. I don't know.
He's kind of got the Whitlock homoerotic thing.
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
getting
weird.
it gets to a point. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where like we gotta start really questioning.
We
where
do.
you
Hey,
coming
but
from.
keep
That's all-
dropping them super chats, Central Cast, because you the weird one in the family, but you're still in the family. You're still in the.
No,
everybody got
facts.
there, but you're still
When
in the family.
we at Easter, dinner, like having some food and whatnot, we telling everybody, be careful around
careful around
Central
Central
Cast.
Cast.
Because Central Cast be on some
careful
weird
around
stuff for
Central
sure.
Cast.
Yeah.
If he invites you on the walk, the walk that everybody
Yep.
go. Don't go by
Don't
yourself.
go.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
go
go
on the walk
yourself.
with Central Cast,
Yeah,
bro.
no walk with just Central
Where
Cast.
we at, Carebear?
Look, moving forward, today a national champion was crowned. The UCLA Bruins won the national championship of women's college basketball,
Beat the brakes off of them.
smacking
Man.
South Carolina. But this is not the biggest news this past weekend in college basketball. Congratulations to UCLA. They got it done, sent out a bunch of their seniors. It was actually the semifinal game in the Final Four where Geno Auriemma and Coach Don Saley, two of the most
Tired of Geno.
successful coaches in college basketball, ended up getting into a screaming match on the sideline. As you see right here, there was an alternate angle that, of course, Emmanuel Acho posted because he loves drama. I'll let you guys take a look at this one right here. Don was not playing around. She was really about to get active on old man
Philly.
Geno. She was done. She was very, very pressed about it. Don Saley is not a woman I would want to mess with at all. Geno Auriemma came out afterwards and had this to say about the interaction. I'll let you guys take a listen.
41 years I've been coaching, and I've been, 25 Final Fours. And the protocol is, before the game, you meet at half court. Anybody ever see that before? Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. Correct? You ever see it? They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes.
Liar!
Yeah, sounded upset about lack of a handshake before the game.
Corny, man.
Afterwards, though, the backlash was kind of received online for Geno Auriemma. He released a statement following his exchange with Don Staley saying, "There's no excuse for how I handled the end of the game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard is here at Connecticut. I want to apologize to the staff and the team at South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. The story should be how well South Carolina played, and I don't want my actions to detract from that. I've had a great relationship with their staff, and I sincerely want to apologize to them." Fellas, how do we feel about this interaction between Don Staley and Geno Auriemma?
Utterly embarrassed by Geno and utterly embarrassing on behalf of Geno. Geno has to know more than anybody. As a coach, you're supposed to win with humility and you're supposed to lose with grace. And at the end of the day, he's mad he got his teeth kicked in. He's mad that his team got their butts whooped. And as a result, he starts fabricating stories. The first story Geno fabricated was that his girl's player got her jersey ripped. She ripped it herself in frustration. She later on admitted to doing so. Second story that he fabricated was that he's supposed to meet with the coach before the game. Geno, you met with Don before the game. The truth of the matter is this. Geno's got 1 chip since 2016. Don's got 3. Don owns Geno over the last 8 years. I believe she's won 6 of the last 8 matchups. Geno's just sad that Don has taken Geno's throne over the last decade as being the best coach in women's college basketball. Geno does not want anybody to be elevated to his heights. He didn't want Pat Summitt to be elevated to his heights of greatness, and he sure as hell don't want Don Staley to be elevated to his heights of greatness. And the fact of the matter is, over the last decade of basketball, Don Staley is the greatest women's basketball coach. And the prior decade, when Geno had won with UConn 2016 through 2013 previously, he was the best coach. Geno doesn't like anyone looking at him eye to eye. And the truth, Don's looking down at him over the last decade, and that don't sit right with his spirit.
And that's the real truth. The real truth is that Geno used to be the man. He used to. UConn girls was running everything. Well, things changed, and Don Staley has taken over the crown and the throne, and he doesn't like that. A lot of this is, I want to say, maybe a little bitter, right? And we all go through it, where you might be hot at one particular time of your career, and then eventually somebody comes over, and now they're taking over. And that's what we're seeing now from South Carolina, from UConn. And my thing is, if you're a powerhouse like UConn and have so much big tradition in history, and you've been one of the main focal points of that history, you got to be professional. Your professionalism should never change because of how good or bad you play, right? And I look at, like, as a coach, you're supposed to get these recruits and tell them this and tell them that, how to do the right things and don't do the wrong things. And then they watch you on TV just acting up.
Yeah.
Because you lost. You mad because you lost? It's sports. You're going to lose. And we all go through we pissed off, but you still got to be respectful. And I want to say this. I like the way that Dawn Staley, she addressed him. Look, I'm not going to make this bigger than it needs to be, right? We're in the Finals 4. We win. We're going to the championship. And because as if I'm a player, this is be about us. We just beat UConn. We going to the big dance.
Talk about it.
We should be excited. And then we got Geno taking that attention away from that and making it a distraction. So I hate this for women basketball because, listen, you play the game, you lose or you win. Y'all lost. Shake hands, be respectful, and go home. Right? Because the truth is he been getting his ass kicked lately.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, that is the truth
of the matter. And to me, here's what I'm most disappointed in. Here's what I'm most disappointed in, 2-5. Everybody is emotional and makes mistakes when they're emotional.
Everybody.
We've all been there. Kieran, I'm sure you have. Shady, you have. I personally have. We've all been emotional after a loss and made a mistake. But, Geno, at this big age, after sleeping on it, waking up the next day with a PR team and contriving an apology, you have the audacity to omit Don Staley's name? That's the wildest part. Because after you sleep on it, Geno, you wake up, you watch the tape back, you see that your own girl ripped her own jersey and it wasn't a South Carolina player. You should have been like, you know what, hey, I apologize, but most importantly, apologize to Don Staley. That's the woman you offended. That's the woman you lied on. That's the woman you called out. What you apologizing to the South Carolina staff for? Apologize to the head coach. Don't apologize to the staff of whom you don't even know the names of. Don Staley you offended. Don Staley you disrespected. Let your apology be as loud as your disrespect. And your apology had no address on it, and as a result, it got lost in the mail. So to me, At this big age, Geno, with all them gray hairs in your head, which are supposed to be a sign of wisdom, how could you be so idiotic even after you woke up the next day, you went to sleep and still woke up stupid? Don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I just don't like this when some coaches do. Like, if you're a great coach and you can win, right? Take the loss the same way. I look at Phil Jackson. Like, Phil Jackson, he won a lot of games, but he lost some too. And he didn't act crazy when he lost or disrespectful to other coaches. I look at Pop. Right? Pop ain't out here just, he won a lot, but then he lost some. Yeah. You got to be able to take the good with the bad. And I think when you can't do that, it tells you a lot about the person. Yeah. You know, because we all are competitive. We all want to win.
Yeah, I felt like he felt good about this year's team. They were undefeated coming into the tournament. They won the Natty last year. He was feeling very confident. But also, guys, he mentioned not shaking Don Staley's hand before the game. And then they found this video clip of him actually shaking hands
about it
with Don Staley before the game. So I don't know. I think it was very much a situation where sore loser.
Bruh, did you see? Here's what ran me the hottest. See if you can find the clip of Geno the year before. Remember, Geno won the national championship in 2025.
Yeah, they won it last year. With Paige,
right?
Bakers,
they won with Paige.
After Geno won, or before the game, he's looking at Don.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Come in here, come get this hug. So like Geno, and truth is, I wasn't as mad about it as everybody else, Shady, because I know what it feels like to lose a college championship game. Not at first.
I was mad.
Because at first I'm like, bruh, I know what it's like to lose a college championship game. I lost the national championship out here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. You're sick. I've seen players act immature. I saw Cam Newton lose a Super Bowl. I've seen players act immature. I wasn't mad about the initial action as mad because I'm like, bro, if you lose something you care that much about, you're human. Every now and then you act immature, you disrespect people. But I was so curious to see the apology. I was so curious to see, okay, after he watches the tape, after he watches it back, when he wakes up the next day, what's the apology gonna hit like? And so for him to have had that weak, pathetic, childlike apology, that's when I was like, okay, you just don't get it. You just don't. So you was mad from the jump, 2-5.
Yeah, it's like it's no place for that. You're not no player that's in his first Super Bowl or players in his first championship game. Bro, you've been there for what, 30, 40 years?
Yeah, more national championships than anybody.
Bro, come on now. Yeah. And you've lost two before.
Yeah.
You've lost, so you know what it feels like. And you got so many people watching you, a lot of your teammates, not teammates, your players, right? Your assistants that's eventually going to get a head coaching job one day. They watching how you react and how you handle things. And that was poorly. And you're somebody that does know. I don't like that. That's part I don't like. When you a guy at that type of level of things you accomplish and people are watching you, right? You can't react like that. I don't see Don Staley. She's lost before. She ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was weak. That was
Karen,
real weak.
What were your thoughts on it?
Well, like Geno said in the apology, which I felt like was one part of the thing that I did kind of agree with. It should be about the team that just won and punched their ticket to the big dance. It really shouldn't be about these two coaches that have been there, done that numerous times on the national stage and won multiple national championships. You should not be that animated at her. You can have a conversation with her in the tunnel. You can do whatever that is. But to make an entire huge scene afterwards and then to go to the press podium afterwards and just say, I've been doing this for 40 years and I'll shake my... You sound salty. So yeah. I think that was it really was a situation. He took the loss poorly. He wanted to go win that championship undefeated, prove that he was back on top. He was very disappointed in how his team played. They looked awful that day, probably a lot like Texas did in our semifinal against UCLA. But you see the difference. Vic Schaefer walks off the court, no matter how frustrated he might be, he's not upset about small little things. And I think that's really what it was.
You know what's crazy, Kieran? There was a moment, 2-5, where I was like, was this strategic? Because somebody brought this up in a broadcast of like, Geno, I would have felt better if he was trying to protect one of his players that sucked and was trying to take the attention off them by this being a strategic play. Kieran, it wasn't even a strategic play. It was just a childish play. Yeah. Texas, I forgot. We had a girl shoot like 3 of 24.
Madison Booker, yeah.
Madison Booker.
Best player on our team.
Best player on our team shot 3 of 24 from the field. I'm like, if you would have done this to distract from how sorry somebody was, like if this was strategic, I would have been like, ooh, chess move. This was just Geno being a grown kid.
Yeah. Oh, well, technically it did kind of do that. AZ Fudd had a really bad game, and like we're not really talking about how bad she was in the game. We're really talking about how
much. Let's have the uncomfortable conversation and go places that only Speakeasy will go. How much did race play a factor in here? And race and gender, two gigantic things: man, woman, white, man, black woman, historical context, white man, black woman. We can't be ignorant to it.
In what way are you asking how it played a role? Optically or like how
Optically,
they
thus
interact?
backlashly. Like,
I mean, it's a horrible look. Yeah.
What's the old Baylor coach?
I know
Kim
you're talking
Mullins.
About. She's at LSU now.
So
Mullins,
what if Geno did this to Kim Mullins? Is the whole world up in arms?
No, because a lot of people don't like Mullins. Yeah, Kim Mulkey.
Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Kim Mulkey.
She got bad outfits.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of people don't like Kim Mulkey.
If Geno did this to a man, is the whole world up in arms?
No, it just looks like they got in a heated exchange. But also, regardless, you should know after doing this for 30 years, or however long Geno Auriemma has been at UConn, when you're the number one team in the country and the outright favorite to go win a national title, and you've beaten everybody all season, and you're undefeated, and you're the favorite, and you won it last year, and you lose in embarrassing fashion, you get smacked, and you go out there and act in that way, it looks like you're salty. It looks like you took the loss poorly. It doesn't matter if it was Don Staley. It doesn't matter if it was Emmanuel Acho. It doesn't matter if it was Vic Schaefer or any of the other college basketball coaches, man or woman. It's a bad look because you just lost, and you're sitting there throwing a temper tantrum on the sideline. That's the problem. Yep. I think obviously optically it looks even more worse because you're a grown man yelling at a woman. First off, I think that's just, you don't want to be caught looking like that ever. I just don't think you should. But I think that's the bigger part of the equation here is the fact that it's a dude that had the number one team in the country and they got smacked and he's salty about it.
That part.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I think it has everything to do with the intersectionality of race and gender. I think I'm not here to spare a 72-year-old man and coddle his white fragility that was clearly on display from the very minute that him and Don met at half court after the game and interacted. She went up to him pleasantly to congratulate him on a good game, well fought, whatever, and he immediately took it there with her. Then in 2026, he's 72, so of course he's not going to know this. You cannot lie to the internet. You can't. They will catch you red-handed every time, and that's exactly what they did. You lied about not shaking her hand at the pregame. You lied about the teammate jersey being ripped by somebody on South Carolina. That didn't happen. And then you have the nerve to get in the press conference. Even if you play the press conference back, he's like, that's what happens, right? That's tradition, right? Because he knows deep down that he was wrong. So he doesn't even feel confidently in standing on what he's saying. He doesn't believe it himself. So he asked the reporters for backing, and they all stay silent, which I thought was hilarious. Then to come out the next day and apologize to only the staff.
Yeah, not apologizing
to Don Staley when you named her in a conference of, she's the reason, or, we didn't meet at half court before the game, which was a lie. But even if that was the case, you called her out before and after the game, and then to not address her in the apology is just weak. So I think if Don Staley doesn't look like Don Staley, the entire situation goes completely different from start to finish. From disrespect to apology.
Is that good or bad?
I think it's good. I love to see borderline bad people have their.
Why you say bad person?
I'm not gonna say bad. I'm not gonna say he's a bad person. I'm gonna say he had a bad display of character.
Sure.
Yeah.
People need to see that, and I think that's who he is to some degree, and he put that on Front Street for everybody to see. And that's so fair. I would rather know. Listen, coming from, it's literally on my hat, Southern Indiana, Evansville. People are not bashful about their distaste for people that look like us here in the Speakeasy. I prefer that type of outlandish behavior because when it's disguised and it's covert, I don't know. Now I'm shaking your hand, but I'm looking at you funny, like, are you actually?
I think it might have been a pass-by type comment that he could have just like got off on a lot of other coaches, but Don Staley not taking
He's
not
going for that,
bro. And that's why people love Don Staley.
You got any super chats before we move?
Let me see. We do have a couple super chats.
Talk to me. Where the Easter super chats at, y'all?
Yeah, listen.
We doing a show on Easter? Where the super chats at? Shady in the building?
They tied it all away.
Come on now.
Fair.
They probably were giving it to me.
Give it to God first.
Praying. We should have.
Give it to God first. Amen.
What we should have done, Shady?
Because they at home praying and eating with the family and like giving thanks.
Oh man,
because he's risen. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're here.
We're at work, working for the people.
He's risen this morning though too. You know what I mean?
So Navier 9588 said, fan of the show, but I'll never forget Acho saying LeBron and Kawhi are standing eye to eye at their peaks. Dead ass spit my drink out.
I don't think
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't at their peaks. I don't think that's a spit.
You don't think it's a crazy
I don't think that's
take?
a spit your drink out offense. At their peaks, they're MVPs.
Well, LeBron's peak was
So you think?
long.
Hold on. So you think at Kawhi's peak, you drop him on the Cavs?
I dropped him on the Raptors.
Okay. You think at Kawhi's peak? That's fine. The Raptors were a way better team than that 2018 Cavs team or the 2015 Cavs.
2018 Cavs team lost 4-0.
There's a peak Kawhi in 2015 with Timothy Mozgov and Matthew Dellavedova take 2 games off of the Warriors that won.
Why are we doing
60
the
plus
team?
games.
Why just put him on Raptors?
Yeah, I mean, Raptors.
LeBron. So okay,
Does LeBron James carry that Raptors team to a chip?
Absolutely. Are you out of your mind?
Then they're looking at eye. Congratulations.
You're so nasty. He's so nasty for that. You're so nasty for that. He doesn't go 7 games with Philly.
Nice,
either.
Kawhi is nice.
Kawhi at his peak.
Kawhi at his peak
At
was
his peak.
amazing. Don't get me
I can't put
wrong.
nobody with LeBron's peak like that. Kobe's, LeBron's, Jordans, and all them guys, but not.
Because to me, at their
Kawhi,
peak, at Kawhi's peak, could he do what LeBron James did at this peak? Now,
Could he go to 8 straight finals?
But that's
That's not peak. You feel me?
Could he come back from 3-1?
Could he come back from 3-1?
Could he come back from down 3-1?
Against the 73 win team.
Could he do what LeBron did to come back from down 3-1? I think so. Could he come back from down 3-1? But remember, Kyrie dropped 42.
Oh, Kyrie was going crazy.
In
that
game
series, bro.
6?
He was.
It's game 5. Game 5 hit, but also LeBron dropped
busy.
40. They both dropped 41
Kyrie
in the
was
same
going
game.
crazy that series.
Kyrie
too,
did go
though.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Kyrie went
Kyrie's getting
crazy
busy.
game 5. Bron went crazy game 6. Bron went crazy game 7. Kyrie went crazy at the very end as well, though.
I also think
Kyrie's unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I also think Kawhi would have made a bigger. Kawhi, you could have been like, all right, go do something to Clay or do something to Steph. Like, I think Kawhi is a more locked-in defender because he takes more pride in defense than LeBron does.
Yeah, board man gets paid.
He's a better defensive player, for sure.
Yeah, but
So
I mean,
that's why I'm
but
like-
I feel like if you're talking like that about Kawhi, all them top guys, I think in a peak can ball then like that. Like, okay, so like Kawhi, we'll put KD there.
KD
like,
balled at his peak.
Steph
For
at his
sure.
peak.
Yeah,
So
we're talking about some of the best players to
I
ever
just
play.
hate the peak stuff because it's like
Yeah.
they all can do great in
At
their
their
peak.
peak,
It's
yeah.
like you're saying at my best.
At my
Yeah.
best.
No, but some best is longer than others.
Yeah,
You
how
know what I
long
mean?
was your peak? Is the
Yeah,
best
so
question.
that's why I
Because
hate the
Bron's
peak
peak was a
conversation.
decade.
And I'm gonna be honest. That the highest compliment that I can give Kawhi is that if I have a child that wants to play basketball, they're watching Kawhi Leonard play the game before anybody else. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He plays the game within the confines of what he does athletically, mentally. He looks to get his teammates involved, and he just plays the game the right way. Like, I love watching, and I worked for the Clippers for 4 seasons, so I got to watch Kawhi up close. He is just a work of art on the basketball
Were you there?
court,
Were you
right?
there in 2021 when they played the Mavericks?
Yes, I was.
Bro, we're winning game 6, balling. Kawhi ends up hitting like 13 of his last shots. It drops 44 and beats us in Dallas, and that was like, that was the end of our season. It was crazy. I'm like, bro, when he's locked in, he's a problem.
That's all I got for now. We can keep it moving.
Keep it rocking.
Keeping it moving, we got to talk about everybody's favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Levante David made news this past weekend after coming out and saying that Jalen Hurts was never a guy that we were worried about. The future, Hall of Famer, best linebacker in this era. I'll let you
Jalen
guys
Hurts
know
was
what he has to
never he was never a guy who we worried about when we
Right.
played the Eagles. So like our game plan was always because they have a great offensive line. You got to stop the run. So you got to be where you're supposed to be to stop the run, and then that may open up the passing game. But he was never asked to do so much. He don't give me those vibes as far as like off the field stuff. I see a lot of things that had a lot of problem with the offensive coordinator. He have this about his 6, 7 offensive coordinator.
This is his 6th now with Sean Mannion.
That. So he may have got frustrated with that and things like that. But this past season is probably like the most I really seen. A lot of speculation and stuff going on. But as far as like Jalen Hurts being a bad teammate and stuff like that, I mean, I had a teammate over there who played with him, Devin White. He was over there for a little bit, and he never, said nothing negative about Jalen Hurts. He's a great leader. Maybe this past year was just that moment where he kind of like was the, tipping point. Things going bad, everybody blaming him, so he probably just like, F it, I'm just for the, act out.
Fellas, do we think Levante David's comments were in any way out of line, or you guys agree?
No. Everything he said, I don't disagree with. He said that they have a great offensive line, that we want to stop them first, right? Stop the run. I think most teams would do the same thing. And then every team is different. So he talked about how we never had a problem with Jalen Hurts. If you really watch the Bucs, though, I think we struggled against them. So there's some teams that might have your number. That's okay. There's certain defenses that I will see certain running backs have 200 yards against, and I might struggle because they play me better than others. I don't think nothing he said was wrong. You know, he talked about how the narrative of him being a bad teammate. He said a guy like Devin White he played with, and they were brothers because I was there when they were there. And Devin White said that's false. So I don't mind anything Levante said about Jalen Hurts. You know, I do think that Tampa played our passing game really, really well. And then there's certain coaches that just have your number. But overall, he didn't disrespect Jalen Hurts. He didn't say he was a bad quarterback. Because I know if they'd have asked me, hey, do you think he's one of the top tier quarterbacks? He'd have said yes. If they'd have asked him, hey, you think Jalen Hurts is the reason why the Eagles consistently go back to the Super Bowl and playoff team and the NFC Championship, he would say yes. So I don't mind that at all.
Levante David didn't tell one lie about Jalen Hurts. And if Levante David can't speak on Jalen Hurts as a defender in the National Football League at the highest level, probably the third best linebacker of the generation of the 2012 draft class behind only Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly, then nobody can speak on Jalen Hurts. Everything Levante David said was accurate, and he's the foremost speaker in knowledge because he went 4-2 against the Eagles, including a playoff win. Had really, really, really good defensive performances against the Eagles. I believe the Bucs might have been one of the games where Jalen Hurts struggled in the second half with limited completions against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Levante David spoke all truth, and it was all respectful, which is what I admire the most about it. Never said Jalen Hurts was a bad player. Never said Jalen Hurts was a bad teammate. In fact, defended Jalen Hurts both as a player and as a teammate as Skip Bayless asked some more questions. However, he did state what most people know to be the obvious, which is you as a defender are not worried about Jalen Hurts. You're worried about Saquon Barkley. You're worried about A.J. Brown. Some teams are worried about Dallas Goedert depending on their defense and their personnel. To some degree, you're worried about Smitty depending on if you're going to roll coverage to A.J. Brown or not. But you are not necessarily worried about Jalen Hurts. You're worried about the tush push. If that counts, let that count. But you're not worried about Jalen Hurts. It was honest. It was true. It was respectful. So the tension for me is when people try to take that as an indictment. I love what Shady just said. It's not an indictment. It's the facts. Doesn't mean Jalen Hurts isn't a great winner. Doesn't mean Jalen Hurts isn't a great quarterback. But when you as a defender, we start every week, Kieran, on Monday or Tuesday, depending on what team you are, you start looking at film. You look at the film from the last week, and then you get a little bit ahead of it. And you put a star by, hey, what players are special? You play in the Eagles offense, Shady McCoy, special. Deshaun Jackson, special. Hey, be mindful of Jeremy Maclin. Like, be mindful of him. That's it. You're not putting a star by Brent Selleck. You're not putting a star by James Casey, putting a star by Shady, putting a star by Jack. And so for me, you're putting a star by Saquon. You're putting a star by AJ. You're not putting a star by Jalen.
See, that's now that's when me and you.
What did I say wrong?
You just see left, I see right.
What lie I tell?
The star, he is a star. What are we talking about?
I didn't say he wasn't a star. I said you're not putting a star by him. That's the difference.
I don't even know. I guess. I am. There's some teams that will do that. There's some teams like the Commanders where he just does play them well every time he plays them. There's certain teams, no matter who it is, he just plays well against them. And I'm sure they got a big star next to his name. My thing is, I don't mind it because, like I said before, every team plays other players different. There's some teams that I will see do well against this quarterback and others don't. So I don't mind that. If you really watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they play against Jalen Hurts, they play well against him. But I definitely don't believe that. I do think he's a star, and I do think a lot of teams do worry about Jalen Hurts. Just that this particular team, they didn't.
But this, if anything, this is a team that played him best. And so, like, again, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts isn't a star for clarification. Jalen Hurts is a star in the league. But I don't think that Jalen Hurts is a player that when you're playing against, you're like, hey, we have to be incredibly mindful about Jalen Hurts. He's going to beat you with his arm.
But you don't think there's some teams where, like, okay, because I watch him where he's beating with his arm, then he's beating with his legs.
Jalen Hurts,
like,
I think on third down, don't turn your back to Jalen Hurts. I think like that's something you're mindful of. On third down, I might not play two-man. I might not have everybody get out of there. But outside of that, like, Jalen Hurts isn't somebody who, like, he's not going to Justin Herbert you. He's not going to be like, hey, even if you're covered, he's going to make the perfect throw. He's not Lamar Jackson you. And obviously he's not going Patrick Mahomes you. And he's not going Josh Allen you.
No, Levante David also went on to say that in the playoff game that they played against him and won, they went straight cover 0 and cover 1 because they wanted him to be the one that beat them in the game. Mm-hmm. So I like to say that from Levante David's perspective means that he has real life experience and real life game planning that they did against the Eagles, and that's what his experience was with it. Also, I like Shady said, I don't think he disrespected Jalen Hurts in any way or went at his character or who he was as a teammate and whatnot. So I just think it's funny that we even have to like defend one of the best linebackers in the entire era for his take on what his team's game plan was.
But
against
here's
Jalen Hurts.
my problem, Kieran.
Ridiculous to me.
Here is what I hate, and you didn't do it intentionally. Levante David didn't give a take.
He told the truth. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like a take is, hey, I think da 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 da.
Actually, the only take that he gave was positive for Jalen Hurts,
Correct.
saying that I bet he was he's been a good teammate.
That's what be running me hot
Ivan's
sometimes. Is somebody like, Acho, your takes suck. Notice the difference between a take and a fact. Sometimes I'm giving a take. Levante David didn't give a take. Levante David gave a fact. The fact is, hey, we were trying to stop AJ, trying to stop Saquon. Takes are Jalen Hurts isn't that good. That's a take.
But I guess it's a fact for him, but that's for the Buccaneers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because
Not
like
for
I say, Lamar Jackson is a hell for every team.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some teams and coaches that they won't say that. Like Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Brian Flores. I watch him go a lot of zero coverage. I watch him have Lamar Jackson in the box. I watched that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we ask him, hey, how do you feel about Lamar? They say he's like, I was a great player, but we never really had trouble with him.
Yeah.
And there's probably 30 other teams like, yo, Lamar's a nightmare for us. And I think it's the same thing with Jalen Hurts. Obviously, Lamar and Jalen are different. But my thing is there's some teams that, hey, playing against Jalen Hurts, he's a nightmare. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he can do this, he can do that, he can convert on third downs, he got the tush push. He do everything. Yeah. And there's some coordinators or some defenses like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where if you watch the playoff games and the regular season games, they do really, really well against Jalen Hurts. So I don't mind the issue on that. It's just that the way it sounds and the narrative, and it's easy to kill Jalen Hurts.
I'd actually make the argument that the star argument you were making earlier, I can't believe I'm doing it, but like the star argument that you made earlier, you could argue that the Chiefs probably should have had a star next to Jalen Hurts' name. Otherwise, they wouldn't have got torched both games that they played against him.
But here's the thing.
It was clearly circled. Saquon Barkley's name was clearly circled.
But we do this in basketball, so I don't know why we don't also understand this in football. When you focus on other players, it allows another player to get busy.
Yeah.
Like we have y'all teach me this in basketball all the time. Or Acho, Pat Bev is shooting so good from three because they leave him wide the hell open.
Yeah.
So there's also some common sense of defense is all about what are you willing to sacrifice. But the reason I think this Jalen Hurts conversation, not this specific one, is so toxic is because Levante says what he says, and then people like Chauncey Gardner, and shout out to Chauncey Gardner, I love his game, but he comes out and takes it as an insult. You have that tweet that Chauncey said?
He came out and he said, why do this? Like, come on. People will continue to bash this man for what reason? Plenty of other quarterback news we can talk about. 100. I mean,
but it wasn't bashing.
It wasn't bad. Like,
so now when he says
clear,
that, like, people will bash this man. Now Eagles fans are going to interpret this as, man, why Levante hated and why Levante bashing him. This was probably the most fair analysis I've heard on Jalen Hurts ever.
I can swear Jalen Hurts is a politician sometimes by the way they defend him, bro. It's like anything Jalen does is
Jesus, bro.
It's what would Jalen do?
What would Jalen do, bro?
I don't know. It's just kind of tough. I think. Also, like Shady said though, there's other teams that this does not apply for. But Levante David's experience is his own, and it's true. He went 4-2. That's what it is. So
and that's the best experience. No, like. If anybody can speak, if Levante had gone 0-4 against Jalen Hurts,
let's be honest though. That's like you look at the best players on the team, and a lot of the other superstars don't get as much credit as the quarterback do. Correct. So why is it a problem whenever we give those other players more credit than the quarterback?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like for certain situations, the team around him was amazing, but then whenever we're like, the team around him is amazing. It's like, well, you're not giving enough credit to the quarterback. There's just no winning in the argument.
Bro, we even asked Chauncey on the show. And it's one of our most viral clips. Hey, was the Eagles offense that simple? Jalen Hurts' fault, Patullo's fault, whoever's fault.
Yeah.
And Chauncey all but said yes when he gave us that over-exaggerated wink. So Levante just said the quiet part loud. Mm-hmm. No more, no less. Kieran, where we at, G?
Moving forward, we got to talk about some more hoops. Nikola Jokic went at it with Victor Wembanyama yesterday in one of the games of the year. It was a credible matchup. Wemby couldn't believe what Jokic did towards the end of the game. Look at that fadeaway, like that almost Dirk shot behind the back of the head. Clutch bucket here, up 2 with only a minute left in overtime. Ended up hitting that turnaround. Jay also had a clutch bucket at the end over the outstretched arms of Wemby. They went at it, though. Wemby, 34 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks, 16 to 17 from the line. And Jokic with 40, 13, 8, and 3 blocks. MVP candidates doing real battle on the basketball court. Who do you guys think, in your opinion, is better as of right now, Jokic or Victor Wembanyama?
Wemby should be better. Wemby, for 3 quarters, was better. Wemby has a more freakazoid physical attribute to his game. But Jokic is better, bro. And it's crazy that you can say that. Jokic proved that veteran savvy is just better than your 7'6" and 8 foot wingspan. Bruh, Wemby was on Jokic's tail 3 quarters, giving him work. Jokic couldn't do nothing on the glass. Wemby had like 13 boards in the first 2.5 quarters. Wemby had 20 plus points, I think, in the first 2.5 quarters. Like, Wemby was on Jokic. I thought it was blouses. Bruh, come the end of that 4th quarter in overtime. Psh, and keep in mind, Jamal Murray ain't do nothing. And white boy, Christian Brown?
Christian Brown, yeah. Or Christian Brown, yeah.
Couldn't knock down a open 3 to save his life early on. I was like, dang, name is Michael Porter. Like, at least somebody you had to guard. But, bruh, Jokic put the team on his back, though. To me, Jokic, I got to go Jokic.
I think Jokic is better. I mean, I don't know if this is even a debate or how it's a debate. I mean, one guy is an MVP for a reason. That means the best player in the NBA. One guy has a championship driving the bus with the leg out the window. Like, he's the reason why they did it. So I think Wemby is a young superstar in the making, but he ain't touching Jokic. Listen, they was down the whole game, and he slept slowly chip it away until they took the lead. When they took the lead, he didn't give it back. Yeah. Jokic is a beast. And the funny thing is, like, he's finding ways to score where the guy's taller than me, can jump higher than me, longer wingspan. That don't matter. You talk about experience, IQ, and being a true vet, true MVP. When you needed my team and you needed me most, I delivered for my team. That's why I won't even play with these arguments about Wemby and Jokic. Stop playing.
But did Wemby not do enough, Shady, for it to be a conversation?
He didn't win.
But at the point in which 34, 18, how many blocks do you have? Maybe about 4 blocks. Had dude scared in the paint. Like, scared in the paint. And pushed the game into overtime. I believe Wemby has at least earned the right for us to have a dialogue. He's earned the right for us to have a dialogue.
Weird. Like, the problem with basketball is we want somebody to be the face, be the guy, be the next story. Let him wait. I'm okay with letting this guy develop. I think he's going to have a great career, but not yet. We trying to compare him with an MVP? We trying to compare him with a champion? We can't. He's not ready for that yet. The MVP race, we want to throw him up there against Shea. Is he better than Shea? I think it's his time. Would he be the face of the NBA? No, it's not his time yet. Shea's a champion. Shea's an MVP. Let this dude grow, develop, and earn it.
Let him earn it.
Let him earn it. We want to give him his credits from right now. For what?
Yeah.
He young. He's doing good. He's getting better. It ain't his time yet. I don't care what stats you show me. I don't care what numbers you want to show me. When I watch Jokic play, he can't jump. He's hobbling down the court. He wins. He's a winner. He's an MVP. He's a champ. Let Wemby earn it, bro, before we give it to him. We do the same thing in other sports, and I'm sick of it.
I'm with that. We haven't seen Wemby play a single minute of playoff basketball. I'm not going to say he's better than a dude that carried a team without an all-star to a championship. What Jokic does year after year after year, anomaly. Now, yes, Wemby has all the natural ability to become one of the best players we've ever seen play this basketball game, right? He's the best prospect coming into the NBA that we've seen since LeBron, which is what everybody said. It's kind of a fact now based off of what we've seen in his first 3 years. To say that he's better than Jokic now is asinine. He has not accomplished what Jokic has. He has not shown that he's capable of accomplishing what Jokic has thus far. Mm-hmm. He has all the tools. He can go do it. This playoffs, this summer is going to be a very good opportunity for him to go out there and show it. I can't agree yet. And also, you saw it in this game. Come down to the clutch. Wemby, 7-5. Aaron Gordon on you. We need 1 bucket at the end of the game. Wasn't capable of hitting it. You go to overtime. You have 2 points. Jokic ends up doubling you. He had 7. Tripling you, actually. Mm-hmm. He had 7 points to your 2 come playoff time, and you made defensive mistakes. Come playoff time, that might be a thing that Wemby has to deal with, and those might be the lumps that he has to take to get over it. But I just can't say he's better than Jokic whenever he hasn't proven it on the court yet.
Let me ask y'all this, though. Is it not fair? You said something, I don't know if you caught it. Wemby couldn't beat who in the clutch? Who's guarding him?
Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Who was guarding Jokic?
Wemby. Yeah.
I say that to say, it's not like Jokic was taking on the same task that Wemby was taking on.
Come on, bro.
Come on, don't come on, bro. Me.
Come on, man.
Y'all watch the games. Y'all watch the game
you
too.
got a whole game
Y'all weren't-
plan.
I'm saying.
Jokic was going against the Nuggets.
Put
Jokic was
Jokic on Wemby then. Put Jokic on Wemby then.
Jokic was going against the Spurs' best defender.
Yes.
Wemby is going against the Nuggets' best defender for bigs.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what. But that's
what I'm saying is it's not a fair. Y'all are sitting here compartmentalizing the argument. I agree with
we're
y'all,
adding
by the
nuance
way.
to the argument is what we're doing.
But the nuance
you
is
don't
this.
like it, Mr. Nigerian man.
The nuance is this: Jokic can check Wemby. They didn't even try to let Jokic check Wemby.
It's a game. It's a team sports. A game plan.
Yeah.
So if the game plan, there's some guys that maybe you're a top defender, but the way your body's built and athletic, we want you to guard him. No, I mean seriously, because some guys is like even when people guard KD, like sometimes they put a physical guy on compared to a guy that's 7 foot. You know what I mean? It's matchups. I don't want to listen. You're not going to manipulate this conversation again. All right, the defense setup is have your best defenders on the best offensive scorers.
Yep.
That's what they do.
Yep.
And they chose Aaron Gordon, and Aaron did
It worked.
okay.
Aaron did well.
He did all right.
Right.
My thing with Wemby is you are a defender. Your specialty is defense, and Jokic is offense. And when they went head to head, the guy that can't jump as high, is not as athletic, he won the matchup.
Man.
You know, and it's like, you know what I hate though? It's some players we don't let develop. We want them to be the man right now. Like I look at even like the Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan was at his best, obviously we know he won championships. But when he wasn't and he was a great player, we still let him develop to take over the throne. Kobe Bryant, he went through the stages. Even LeBron James. Right? Like
Everybody has
everybody's
to take their lumps.
go through your lumps. And I think right now Wemby is taking lumps. You'll keep taking them lumps.
Now look at the way Jokic is moving on defense right here, though. By the way, look at these.
saw that clip.
That's a dancing bear
was
right
trying.
there.
That's
Bro.
the thing is he can do that for 5 possessions in a 4-quarter game.
Yeah, he makes them count.
Wemby can do that every time down the floor for every possession that he's in the game.
Yeah, he has a better skill set.
Yes, for sure. He is the more talented player.
Yes.
But Jokic is way more impressive.
It's ridiculous
Because
But is he more
Shady's
impressive because he's not as physically gifted?
because let's talk about skill for
But he's
skill
more
though.
talented. Hold on, real quick.
Hold up.
He's more talented than Jokic?
yes.
Hold up. Let's talk skill for skill though.
Before we go,
Yeah.
hold on. How? I want to know how though.
He's more physically
I
talented than
want to
Jokic.
Trey. No.
I don't know
Trey,
if he's a better
Trey,
basketball
look, give me
player
the
than
eye.
Jokic.
Tell me how. You give me the eye and all that. How?
Wemby is a faster player.
Okay, cool.
He's
Athleticism.
a more athletic player.
Right, athleticism.
Bet, cool.
Mentally, I would give Jokic the edge.
Duh.
Okay.
Of course.
Defensively,
Wemby's better.
Wemby is better.
Okay.
Yes. Offensively, it's not a close.
Offensively,
Is who?
in terms of the package,
Is who?
In terms of the
Wembenyama.
package.
Okay, hold up.
Time out. No.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna let you do
hold
bag
on.
talk on this podcast,
One
bro.
guy-
No. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I'm excited. Go ahead.
Real excited. Hold up. So that's what, because I'm not trying to sing you out, but sometimes when you say things and you look at me, I got to respond. First of all, offensively, definitely goes to Jokic.
no.
I can't jump. I can learn it, and I'll average more points to you. I score at will.
That's why I said it's more impressive, but
No.
he's not more talented. I said that.
Hold on. First of all, when you think Wemby dribbles better, right? 'Cause
Yeah, he dribbles
I
better.
know that because I watch Jokic run point guard.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
Think about it. When they have a fast break, the ball goes to him first, and then it might go to Jamal Murray.
Yep.
So maybe you might dribble the ball like Allen Iverson, or I might dribble the ball like John Stockton. I can dribble. You're not taking the ball from me, right? I got a whole 8-pack of beer on my stomach.
Yep.
And I be killing them dudes.
Yeah.
He take them to the whose post game's better.
Jokic for sure.
Okay.
Not even close.
Who's a better scorer?
Jokic.
And look,
It's not
and guess what? And
close.
in real talk, they both can shoot the tray.
Yep.
You can't leave me open. I shoot
Yep.
free
Can't
throws.
Can't leave neither one of them
I can
open.
do
Yep.
everything you do. I just look different doing it. So how's he
Also,
more
by
talented? I
far
don't
and
know.
away a better facilitator. They
Man,
don't run the
defense?
entire
Yes,
offense through
I
Wemby.
agree with that. I agree with
Oh,
that.
I forgot about that. Yes.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's
You
why I
can-
said.
yes.
That's why I said.
Wemby has
Mentally,
a
mentally,
dribble package,
mentally,
but
and
I
running
don't
the
know if he's
game.
better
Mentally and
offensive
running the
I don't know,
game.
mentally.
That goes to
triple
Jokic.
doubles.
Athletically,
He averages a triple-double.
athletically, the better player is Victor Wembanyama.
But you didn't say
That's
athletically.
no. He's not a better
What
player.
I say he's the better talent. He's the better. He is
not-
the better
I don't
talent.
think so.
He is the better
Yo,
all-around talent.
I think it's more impressive and more talented than me when a guy is chubby, slow.
But that you moved. That's impressive. You said impressive.
Talent. I think you're talented when you're a guy that's chubby, slow, not quick.
Yep.
And you do all the same things as guys that's in shape, that's quicker, that's faster, that's stronger.
Yep.
You do everything and you do it better.
I'm gonna interject. Jokic.
In his eye, and then he can see the vision. He be throwing no look past alley hoops.
Let me
He be throwing
introduce.
alley hoops.
He's the best big man facilitator ever. I give you that.
It's not even close.
That's not even close.
He's also capable of shooting 40% from the three.
Come on, man.
He's also, to be honest, he's up there. He's up there in terms of rebounding though. He averages like 12, 13.
He leads the league.
He leads the league in assists.
And he don't jump.
He leads the league in assists.
How's he more talented?
He also sits in the paint in a matchup zone for the entire game.
You know what the problem is?
Which
he has a bias against players that aren't as athletic as others. You just like athleticism. That's okay. You said the same thing about discrediting Luka. It's okay.
My whole argument.
Wemby's offensive game. This is his first year at 7'5", having over 50% from the shooting over 50% from the field. Jokic takes his threes, but also he's the most efficient basketball player in league history on the offensive side of the ball.
I got one more for y'all. I was in a crazy argument with some NBA hoopers. I'm like, ain't no way in the world Jokic is as talented, you know what I'm saying, as Joel Embiid. And I'm going crazy. I'm saying this and that. I'm showing them, highlights and all that. And then when they broke it down, they said, well, you sure? Because this guy is he does everything and more. He be averaging 15-something assists a game.
Bro.
So you got a point guard and a center all in one. He scores. You know where he's going. He can't go far. He can't jump high.
Yep.
And he's doing everything like.
And that's why it's more impressive.
So when I'm thinking about like, yo, you right. Because I'm thinking like, yo, he plays point guards. When they have their fast breaks, he's the one pushing the pace.
He's pushing it. Offense go through him.
It go through him.
Wemby can do that too, and he does that. And he has a better handle on the ball.
See, that's not true because he don't do it as efficiently as him. The guy's averaging a triple-double. He has the most assists in basketball.
The entire offense also runs through Nikola Jokic, though.
I'm done, dude.
The entire offense.
I'm done, dude.
There's not a possession that happens that Jokic isn't pounding the ball up the floor or going to the free throw line and catching it on the first. Yeah, of course.
But imagine a running back Acho that's just a ship the as I am, make guys miss, scoring touchdowns, giving them crazy work, and he's chubby and not fast and not quick.
C.J. Anderson against the Cowboys in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
But that doesn't mean he's more talented than you. It's just more impressive. It looks better because he's fat, out of shape, and can't run as fast as you but he's still just as shifty, shaking people, whatever.
The brother gets rebounds.
Yep.
He scores at a high clip. And he has mad assists. He has the most assists in basketball. He's a center.
Yep. And there's a nuance to every one of them things that you just said. He sits in the high post, catches the ball, the offense runs through him. He sits in the paint on defense in a matchup zone and never leaves it and gets rebounds all game.
Trey, let me interject though. If the offense runs through him, why doesn't it run through Wemby? It runs through him because he's capable of the offense running through him. He's a better facilitator from the big man position than we've ever seen before. He deserves credit for that. You can't just say, everything runs through him.
So then address the defense. Address the defense then.
Defensively, no one's as good as Wembanyama. All time.
He sits in the paint in a matchup zone. He never gets caught in pick and roll. And when he does, it's very rare on the court.
And what did he do? What did he do while doing that?
He's not a liability, though.
He's not.
No, he's not. No,
Yes,
he's not.
He has a championship, Trey. He's not a liability. He has a championship.
Wait, time out.
He won a ring.
But let me push back real quick because y'all both just sat up here and said it's about game plan and scheme. The game plan and scheme is to hide Jokic on the defensive end every single time down the court.
Sir,
every time down the court.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but this is what I'm saying. I watch certain guys like Steph get picked on. I watch guys like Luka get picked on. Like it looks like they're the weakest link. You can't watch the Nuggets because everybody has a game plan to hide their weakest defender. He don't be getting picked on. He don't
because they run a matchup zone, so he never leaves the baseline of the. He sits in the paint.
What I'm saying is, on every team, there's a weakness. There's a guy that we want to pick on. There's a guy every time,
and you can't do that in the zone.
However it may work,
you just can't do it.
What I'm saying to you is, when I watch him play, they don't pick on him
because you can't pick on people in the zone. Right. That's basketball, bro. I'm sorry, that's easy. When you're assigned a zone. You cannot get picked on, especially when your zone is underneath the basket. That's just basketball 101.
So they play zone all day? The whole game?
They don't play zone all day, bro.
What are we talking about?
When do they play? When do they play man?
This is crazy.
When I just showed you in that clip.
Bro, they play zone. I would love to look it up. I guarantee you it's at least 85% of the game.
They're still good enough to play defense and have a solid enough team.
Yeah, they
win the
got perimeter
championship.
Defenders, bro.
But you can't call a dude a liability when he's a championship one.
You're right. I can't call a dude a liability when he's hidden constantly on defense. I can't.
Sure, you can. If he's a championship one. If he's a championship,
you can still be a liability
if he's the
on
best player,
end.
I'm just objectively speaking, calling the best player on a championship team, a 3-time MVP,
A defensive liability.
A liability.
Defensive liability.
He's not a defensive liability.
All right, bro.
You were capable of winning a championship.
But you have
with
to
him.
be hidden constantly.
You can still be a defensive liability.
You can. It still be a championship
Dennis Rodman,
one.
an
It's still-
offensive liability. And
Come on,
He's
bro.
also not like one of the worst defensive bigs though in the league.
not.
Like, he's not. He's just not. That's just
that's like-
because he's slow and
Because he
you care about
doesn't-
athleticism more.
No,
That's okay.
he doesn't have to play defense.
Okay, but he does though. He does. He does.
All right, bro.
Hey, speaking of players who won
Yeah, 3 blocks
championships and
tonight,
didn't
by
have
the
to
way.
play defense, Steph Curry missed a game winner.
Steph Curry missed a game winner, unfortunately, against the Rockets, but he did have an incredible performance. 29 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 52% from the field, off of the bench. Look, him coming back, it's very interesting for the Warriors moving forward. They're sitting at the 10 seed. They're locked into the play-in. They're likely going to be playing a first-round matchup, I believe, against it's not the
9.
It's the 9 seed. I gotta find out who that is. But how do we feel about Steph Curry coming back and this Warriors team's chances come play-in time?
I wouldn't want to see him in the play-in, period. But that's as far as it goes. If you are the Thunder, please, I would love to see you, Warriors. If you the Spurs, I might not. Because Spurs still young. Spurs got to take their lumps, and I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know if the Warriors can get all the way down to the 7. If they're the 10, I think the best they can get to is the 8.
Oh no, they're cooked. They're locked into the 10. Bro.
They're locked into the 10, right?
So we gotta play.
It's Portland. They're
the
gonna
9,
play Portland first round in the play-in. Probably.
I would not want to see.
We got to play OKC.
Portland or the Clippers.
Yeah,
So
OKC.
the win you got to play OKC.
Oh man.
Got to win twice.
You got to win. If the Warriors make the playoffs from the 10 seed, they're
OKC.
playing OKC.
Oh man.
Yeah, y'all are cooked. Yeah.
What you feeling, 2-5?
We can't beat them. Rocky, you can't win, Rock. We can't beat them. Damn, I was hoping. It's cool, but I like next year. I like the Cowboys. You know, I'm worried for next year.
Man, I think Steph Curry and the Warriors will be a very exciting first-round exit. Incredibly exciting first-round exit. Steph Curry, though, coming back from missing, what was it, a month and a half of ball to drop 29 off the bench is crazy. And that just shows you that as long as Steph Curry is alive, they still got a chance. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Rockets were at full strength. KD was out there. Şengün was out there. Thompson was out there. The Rockets brought out their playoff squad, and Steph Curry cooked. This is a 5-seed Rocket team. Like, this is a Rockets team that could be the 3rd seed by a game or 2 games. So the fact that the 10-seeded Warriors now with Steph Curry and Steph Curry back acting like that, yeah, team should be afraid, but the Thunder should fear nobody.
Yeah, I think next year's our year, though. And I mean,
Year for what?
To make some noise.
What kind of noise? What kind of noise? What kind of noise?
Jimmy
the
being
Warriors
hurt
making?
so bad though,
I know,
because I think they could be a
if Jimmy
contender.
was here, it'd be different.
Yeah.
It'd be different. He said the noise do what?
I mean, to me, Shady is Steph won his last ring in Golden State.
Nope. I think they got one more shot. I think they make some different moves. I think we're gonna get some injuries in the NBA on other loaded teams. Like, I think a guy or 2 might go from OKC because that's basketball, that's sports. Guys get injured.
Yep.
So
right. I mean, let's just be. You looking at me like that? Listen, let's be honest here. If OKC's not in the picture, I think the Warriors got a shot.
OKC is going to be in the picture for like the next 7 years.
I just said in basketball and sports, things happen.
Yeah, injuries do happen.
But they can sustain an injury, though. That's the thing.
No, they can't.
Look at the Warriors in 2019.
If FGA is hurt,
They could get through a series without SGA.
I don't think so. That's what everybody believes. I
They
don't believe
could.
that.
Like how the Warriors got through that series without Steph, or like with the marginalized Steph the year they won the chip. When Steph was coming off the bench.
Poole was doing basically almost the same thing he was doing.
Yeah, I think the Warriors could get through.
I don't think Jay Will can do the same thing like SGA does.
J-Dub could
I watched when Steph Curry went down. Poole, that's why Poole get paid. That's why Poole was loving him. He was doing the same thing Steph Curry was doing. He ain't doing that.
J-Dub could average 26, 8, and 6 in a series.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
In the finals, he gave you a 40-point game and a 30-point game in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, my man, but when you're the main player and the other one, the main guy's down, and there's no Batman, is just robbing out there, I don't think so. That's me. I don't think so. I watch him play. I think he's a really good player. I do not think when the game plan, the playoffs is on him, I don't know if he's going to do all that.
I think if Jordan Poole's capable of getting you through a series, I think J-Dub could
Offensively,
get you through.
Jordan Poole, back then when he was with, back then when Jordan Poole was with the Warriors, their offensive game's not even close.
Poole had a bag. Poole had a crazy bag.
Are you kidding me?
Poole had a crazy bag.
And you have an offense and a team that, like, I don't want to compare them to because offensively, I think Poole back then was a lot better.
Also, you still had Klay Thompson as your
Come
number
on, man,
2,
what?
just strapping everything.
Listen,
I think y'all sleep on if Shay's 18 shots were distributed. I think Chet would average 20 instead of averaging 15, and I think J-Dub would average 24 to 27.
I think them guys are really good.
I think-
18 shots, a lot of
I think
shots
it's
to go
possible.
around.
I'm not saying it's not possible.
a lot of shots.
I don't
but
think Chet's that great like that though. I think Chet's good. I think he's a good player. I don't look at him as like, oh my god. I don't. I think having SGA on the squad makes everybody's job easier. I truly believe that.
Man, I think having SGA is a blessing, but for those guys' numbers, I think it's a curse because I think J-Dub can't get active.
Yeah, but even that. But like, what about when the game plan is switched on you? We watch in so many different sports where you're the guy because you got a guy that's with you, and then he rolls, he leaves, and they get you a guy that's not as good as him, and he's the help, and now you're this main superstar, and it doesn't always work out well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thunder are just the deepest team in the league.
That's my
That's-
thing.
But if they're not
my
the same,
thing,
and SGA has a break, he
No,
breaks
SGA being out
he breaks
changes
a
things.
shoelace.
Yeah.
I like the Warriors. I love the Warriors.
I think you can get through a series. Can they get to a chip? Hell no. Nah. But are the Thunder
Against this
deep
year's
enough?
Warriors, they could get through a series, yeah.
Thunder deep enough, bro. And the Thunder got like 5 guards that they could just
They
throw
can all
Mitchell
shoot
out there.
the lights out,
Throw
too.
freaking what's it,
Yeah,
McCain out
they
there.
can shoot.
All of a sudden McCain is nice.
Yeah, they can shoot because
I'm
they
like, this
got
is crazy.
my
We
man
knew that
setting
was
them
going to
up.
happen, though. 76ers screwed the league doing that, though.
Bro,
you knew McCain was just gonna go
McCain
hit
out
a
here
bunch of
getting
threes.
buckets. The other Mitchell out here getting buckets. And then they throw out there Joe.
So,
Isaiah Joe.
Yeah,
so
Isaiah
you
Joe.
telling
I'm
me?
like-
So you really in your heart believe that this team is so good, even if SGA's not there, and they just going to win in series?
A series. They could get through the first round.
I don't
They
think
could get
so.
through because the first round, realistically, they could beat the Suns without SGA.
Can they beat the Warriors?
They could beat. Yeah, without Jimmy Butler, a Jimmy Butlerless Warriors team, they could beat the Warriors without SGA, and they could beat who's the 8 seed currently?
The 8 seed currently, it's the Trailblazers and the Clippers. So they're either going to play the Trailblazers or the Clippers in the first game.
Clippers they struggle with because the Clippers have talent, but the question is the Clippers going to be healthy? You know, and that's can Kawhi get through a whole playoff series?
Healthy Kawhi is a problem in the playoffs. But,
Exactly,
yeah.
but is Kawhi ever healthy in the playoffs?
Never.
Not long.
Yeah, not
long enough.
They'll look like a championship contender and they'll get hurt.
But 2-5. Here's the final question: can Steph win another chip as the best player, or does he need a Giannis type?
Nah. If Giannis come over, who's the better player of them two?
It would have to be Giannis. Giannis would be averaging 28,
He's just younger.
to 11, and
I don't hear no other arguments. I think they still can. I think Steph has one more in them, at least one more run. Because you know what, to be honest, say like a championship is hard to do, and I don't play with championships. I'll say if Steph gets one more piece, I truly believe this, and I'm wondering how Jimmy comes back.
Yeah.
One more piece with Jimmy. I truly believe that they can make one more run.
That piece has to be honest, though. At 38 for Steph going into next season.
Man, listen, when you can shoot, you can shoot.
No, he's.
it's got to be. It's got to be a
like I
first
said,
team All NBA talent.
He has the
right?
best skill set for any player to go into their 40s and still play at a very high level.
I mean, he's still one of the best.
But did
point
y'all
guards
he's
hear?
unbelievable.
Did y'all not hear what Steph said in his interview going into this game, bro? He said, "I thought I was going to be out for 7 to 10 days." He said it turned into something that I'm just going to have to live with. So he was saying like, bro, I
That's
thought
some
this
old
injury
dude shit
was
to
going to
say.
be just some little small thing. He's like, but it turned. I'm just going to have to live with this. Essentially, like it's probably some cartilage, bone on bone, because it's not structural. They were saying, so it's probably some sort of like bone on bone cartilage issue. Because he was like, I was good, but then I would do a workout and I'll be hurting again. So that's why I'm just wondering, like, I don't think Shady Steph is ever going to play 70 games in a season again, 65 games in a season again.
Yeah,
like he's going to need somebody who's.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Every team in the NBA has somebody else.
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
of them. They got somebody.
facts.
So I don't mind that. And you're older. Get your last ring. Like, come on. So I'm all for that.
Trey, you think he got one more in him as the best player?
Championship?
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. I think Steph's game lends itself to being able to be a number one because you still have to guard him at the, way past the 3-point line. He's still Steph Curry at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. He can torch you for 50. We saw him do it last year. He can still drop you off and be the focal point of an offense or, of a defense, for the opposing team. So as a number one, I think that's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough, bro.
I don't know.
I think he can. I'll say I think he can.
Wow.
I think he can be the number one because he does draw so much attention from defenses that it may not look like it on paper as he's the number one because they may stifle him with double teams or blitzes or whatever. But again, this the attention that he draws allows for other people to get open and to have shots that they wouldn't have otherwise had without Steph Curry. So if we're going to talk about Jokic's impact, facilitating the ball and doing all the things, we can do the same thing for Steph Curry. So
yeah, I mean,
Kieran, where we at? Hey, we're getting to our last topic of the day. If y'all want to be heard on today's show, drop your super chats. We got about 10 more minutes of showtime, maybe 14 more minutes of showtime, then we out of here. Kieran,
I was going to say, I do have a couple super chats I can get to real quick. Candy Winslow jumped in the super chat. She said, first-time lady super chatter. Let's go ahead and clap it up for her. Clap it up for Candy. She said, first-time lady super chatter, you have the best show on. I am a hospice nurse, and I watch your show.
Hold on.
Yeah. We gonna give it up for the healthcare
bro. Y'all don't realize
professionals
what
for sure.
Said, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Hospice?
Hospice is brother. Yeah, I lost my grandfather in hospice. That's much respect. My sister's a registered nurse. I understand. Y'all do a lot. She said, I watch your show daily. The laughs and knowledge keep me going. Much love and respect to all of you, and keep up the fantastic work.
Appreciate that.
That's love.
Queens B 3852 said, Wemby and his quote Paris elite attitude is, I'm assuming I meant to say, ruining his own success. And although I like him challenging others media-wise, he is doing too much too soon, trying to diminish other players like SGA and Joker.
I think he believes in his ability compared to
Correct.
others. I don't think he's doing anything to diminish.
I don't think he's stepping on anybody else's shoulders to put
He
himself
believes
on
in
a
his
pedestal.
ability.
He's just stepping on a pedestal. Kenro 200X, it's been a while. Shout out to my guy Kenro X said, Nikola Jokic has been the best player in the league since he won his first MVP. He should have had 3 in a row. Unfortunately, consistent greatness, especially in the NBA, isn't appreciated. People and pundits get bored by it. I love everything about that take.
Not wrong.
Jokic has been the best player in the league for years now.
Yeah.
I honestly could make an argument for 5 in a row, but as voters, they're just not going to do that. We get fatigued, we get bored, we get tired of seeing people's greatness.
It's the team success
every year.
playing a huge factor though as well. I think whenever you do have players get multiple, like it's the same thing that kind of we have with like Kobe. It's like, dude, he's by far and away the best player in the league right now, but because Steve Nash is leading his team to more success, he's going to be the one that gets the MVPs.
Agree completely. Benjamin Todd said first game back was incredible. It was a 1-point Golden State loss, 116-115. Curry showed little rust, putting up 29 points against the Rockets team who extended their winning streak to 6 games. This is going to be a good final week in the NBA. And then he followed up with another super chat and said, out of the Clippers, Trailblazers, Suns, who will give the Thunder the biggest headache? And can any of them take it to a game 7? Well, process of elimination will tell you the Trailblazers stand no chance. The Suns stand very little chance. The Clippers probably have the best chance to give the Thunder a run for their money, but it won't be the 7 games.
They're all getting smacked, bro.
They're all getting smacked. It won't be the 7.
They're all getting belt to butt cheeks.
Even if Kawhi is peak Kawhi and does everything that we know he can do,
nice
he just doesn't have. He's got too young of a supporting cast around him.
Yeah.
There's not a second option if he's cold on a given night, which happens in a 7-game series. So
Clippers
probably have the best chance, but it's still a very nominal chance at best. So
okay. Well, last topic of the day here. Luka Doncic is now ineligible for end-of-season awards because of the 65-game limit. He reached 64 games before suffering his season-ending hamstring injury. However, Doncic intends to apply for an extraordinary circumstances challenge, citing his MVP-level season and missed time for the birth of his child. He missed 2 games for the birth of his child. Tracy McGrady ended up having some comments about this. I'll let you guys take a listen.
So the extraordinary circumstances challenge is a thing, right? Where they get an arbitrator and they come in and see if it's warranted for, a change. Yeah. I think he's eligible for that. He should be able to get those 2 games back. It's the birth of his child. Yeah. This is not an injury. This is not load management. This is the birth of his child where he got to fly to another country. Right. So I'm sure the league is going to do right by that.
Fellas, do you guys agree with T-Mac that he should get this exception? And then also, are we feeling any different about the 65-game limit on season awards?
Nah, I agree with T-Mac. Hey, T-Mac never won a playoff series?
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy.
Anyway,
so I'll just say this, though, I mean, like, when you talk about load management or guys not playing because they're injured, that's one thing. You talk about the birth of your child, like, we should get a pass for that. 2 of you guys on the set are not fathers, but 1 guy or 2 guys are. And Trey, you know how big that is, your child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
about to know again in
I
July.
look at all the success I've had in my life and all the money and all the contracts and all that. There's nothing like holding your firstborn child. Right. You get what I mean? So that's just something different. I think the NBA, a player like Luka, who's going to be here for a while, treat him the right way, right? This ain't a guy that's got hot overnight. He's Luka.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all take care of him, man, and give him a pass for that. He's not a regular player.
Oh, no, Acho, I'm about to fire you up. You had to take that. I think you got.
Regular players, we don't get
It's a gray world. It is.
Shady's quote.
But I got to go back to the black and the white. You can't make this exception. Because if I'm Cade Cunningham,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
make an exception for me. If I'm anybody, make an exception for me. If I'm Jokic, make an exception for me. Like, the problem is, if you make too many exceptions, a rule will never be exceptional. So you can't make an exception because at the end of the day, every excuse to every player is valid. We all got excuses, and they all stink. So it's not that this excuse isn't valid. This excuse is incredibly valid. And
Drop the tomatoes in the chat. Yo.
And I don't say this to sound unempathetic, but at the end of the day, everybody's excuse to them is all valid. We all been pulled over for speeding, and we all had a good reason. And whenever we get pulled over, we all, even if you say no, when the cop came up, you better have had a reason. Oh, or we come up with the reason.
Yeah.
We've all been, hey, you were texting and driving. Everybody had a good reason. Now, it was my mom. It was my son. It was my teacher. It was my... Yeah. We all have excuses, and to us, they are all just and they are all valid.
So you telling me, like, Cade got hurt, right?
Yep.
Cade Cunningham, he got hurt, right?
Lungs or something.
Right. Luka had to go see his son being born. You think those are the same thing? An injury compared to my child being born?
I would suggest that one you got to choose and one you didn't. So if anything, Cade should have a more substantial reason because Cade's like, bro, this wasn't a choice. I have like a punctured lung or something wild. Like if I'm Cade and I'm like, bruh, I could have missed for this and that.
This is crazy.
If we don't recall, go back to the bubble. Like players had to miss bursts in the bubble. Alex Caruso had to miss his sister's wedding in the bubble. Players of Austin had to miss bursts and all these things. This is pro sports. So if you make the exception for Luka, you just have to make the exception for Cade. And then you also have to make the exception, which I would suggest, for any other player who's hovering around 60 games, in which case, why have the rule if you got to make exceptions all the time?
Can I get this?
You need
a half or a full?
I need a full. I'm about to fire this man up. Damn. So you are a proud, supporter of the 65-game limit, right?
I'm not. I'm just...
Oh, now we're switching.
I don't care for... I'm not a proud supporter of the 65-game limit.
He's just one side of the fence or the other.
Yes,
if it was 55 games, you'd be on that side.
Yeah,
if it's 82 games, it's 82 games.
I just don't like... Pick one.
I hear you. Let's talk about this 65-game limit that the league has enforced and why there needs to be, I agree with you to a certain extent, multiple exemptions, right?
Okay.
I'm going to name 3 players. I want you to tell me if they're deserving of all NBA honors this season. Luka Doncic, yes or no?
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham.
Yes.
Anthony Edwards, a dude who a lot of people think is going to be the face of the league.
Ant-Man I didn't follow as closely.
Anthony Edwards is not going to reach the 65-game limit this season.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Who can you name one player before the 65-game limit had been enforced that won an award, whether it was MVP, whether it was all-NBA team, without playing enough games for it to be a real problem?
If I had to guess, I would say Embiid just because he always hurt. But the year he won MVP, I'm sure he probably played.
He played enough games that year, though, right? So why, now when we're talking about 3 of the best players of this era, you would say, Cade's turning into that, Anthony Edwards, very polarizing, Luka Doncic, extremely polarizing, took a team to the finals. Why are now these 3 players going to have their legacy tarnished because of a 65-game limit that they would have been all NBA players if the 65-game limit did not exist?
True.
That's my problem. The 65-game limit is hurting the game. At the end of their career, now obviously all 3 of them are going to be able to get in the NBA Hall of Fame or the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. It's a very easy Hall of Fame to get into, right? But these guys have their legacy now with a bit of a say. Oh, well, what happened that year? Oh, he was actually top 3 in MVP voting until he ended up not missing that last game. Cade Cunningham was a shoo-in to be a first-team All-NBA player. Now he's not even making the 3rd team, and someone that does not deserve to be named one of the top 15 players in the National Basketball Association is going to get that spot. You're looking at 3 players that have no business getting all NBA honors, getting those now, and that goes on their legacy, that goes on their record. That's now a part of what they've done as players. All credit to them, they had amazing seasons, but they're not the top 15 players in the NBA. I I can understand if you miss a substantial amount of games. Give me the top 15 basketball players in the NBA. You guys had a problem with the all pros for football, right? Mm-hmm. Because we're adding too many positions. I have an all-purpose running back, a regular running back. I got a fullback when there was only 2 guys to play it. Why are we not keeping the same energy whenever this decision to have a 65-game limit is diminishing the quality of the game? This is where I draw the line. We talk about how basketball's changed, the three-point shots are ruined, it's all going. Now, have 3 of the best players in the entire NBA not be able to get all NBA honors. That's how you ruin the game. That's how you do that. So to me, this is very cut and dry. The dude missed the birth of his child. For you to sit here and act as if him missing the birth of his child in a punctured lung that Cade Cunningham had to go through or 2 completely. Also, both of them are terrible. But both of them deserve exemptions.
Here's the other thing, though. I think it's an unfair take, not to protect the NBA. I don't care that much. It means nothing to me. It's an unfair take to say that Luka's not making it because he missed the birth of his child. No, that was a part of these 17 games, 18 games that he would have missed.
Yeah.
But the birth of his child is just 2 of 18 games.
Yeah.
So what about the other, call it 12 games? Because obviously he's going to miss these last 4 or 5 games. What about the other 12? So it's convenient and it's beautifully gifted and wrapped to say, well, bro, he missed the birth of his child for 2 games. That's not what we're punishing. We're not, the NBA isn't trying to punish the birth of the child games. What about the other 14? Kieran, if it was an 80-game minimum and he missed 2 because of the birth of his child, I think that's a better argument. Now, I ultimately agree because I ultimately agree with you all.
You're going to have 3 superstars not getting anything this year because of that limit. They all played 60 plus. And because they didn't reach 65, we're in a situation where they're not going to get anything for this season.
The worst part about this is not even now. This is the now is almost irrelevant, which is very uncommon in the sports world. It's about the legacy. When our kids grow up and they have kids and they look back at the season and the history of where the league is now, they're like, why in 2026 did Luka not get an all NBA first team selection? Why did Cade he was in the MVP? Wait, he was 3rd in MVP voting, but wasn't all MVP.
They're not going to be anything in MVP voting, by the way.
What am I looking at on Basketball Reference right now that's telling me
they're not going to be in MVP voting, though?
The real problem is you got to blame the players. Yeah. If y'all would have stopped doing this load management bull crap, taking all these games off until you get to the playoffs, that's the problem.
Who's being punished, though? Who is doing that?
The players are being punished for the players' actions.
The players.
Y'all want to not come play games. You got all these fans spending money to come watch the games, and then the star's not playing. Is he hurt? What's wrong with him? Load management. What? He played 20 minutes last night.
Yeah.
So now when you ask about why the ratings are going down in the NBA, these are the reasons why.
Okay, do you think that the punishment fits the crime? Because it doesn't.
Here's the thing.
Now you're punishing 3 young superstars for Kawhi Leonard's rule.
The punishment does fit the crime. You're just punishing the wrong criminal. But the punishment absolutely fits the crime.
They're not criminals, though.
That's the problem. Like, they haven't committed the crime. But the punishment of a 65-game limit, because that's the punishment. The punishment is 65-game limit, period. So, to me, the punishment does fit the crime. You're just charging the wrong people. But here's the other thing I was thinking about while y'all were talking. 65 games is 79%. 79% of games. In the NFL, that's 13.4 games of the 17 games you can play. Think about this even greater. Cade playing 62 games is 75%. That's 12.9 games. If somebody played under 13 games, they're not making All-Pro.
That's true.
They're just not. As a voter, I'm telling you, and I'm not docking them because they didn't play a certain amount of games. They wouldn't have the statistics. In the NBA, we care more about averages. In the NFL, we care more about gross number.
They're 2 completely different sports.
Of course. But the fact of the matter is, they're both sports. So at the end of the day, you wouldn't have the statistics if you only played 75% of the games. So the other thing we have to take into account is like, bruh, Kieran, the threshold is only 80%, bro. Go to class 8 out of 10 times. It's not a high threshold.
This is
it's not a high threshold, bro.
You have an injury coming.
You almost have an injury coming. That's that Shady where you do the stuff with the fans that he talk about. You almost.
So what you mean to tell me is
he almost walked me off the plane. You almost had me, Acho.
What part I lose you at?
You lost me at the fact that the NBA is even making a concession that you can miss 17 games and still be eligible. Yeah. I think negates the argument because they're saying that we're expecting you to in the NFL, you're not expected to miss
nothing,
any games.
No,
because there's only 17 of them, and you only play once a week.
Yeah.
In the NBA, you play 3-4 times a week, sometimes twice in 2 days, sometimes 4 games in 5 days, 4 games in 6 or not 5 days, 4 games in 7 days. So
do you know why they made this rule up though with the 65 games?
Yeah, because players were load managing and more so the rule was actually made because fans were complaining about not being able to see their superstars, and more specifically the kids were
they still miss it though.
So that's what I'm saying. My thing is, all the years of playing basketball, there was never this load management thing where you got to make the players play.
Right.
So now we got to put it in there because y'all don't want to play.
Yeah.
So now everybody gets affected. Yep. So when a guy plays 64 games, not 65, he can't get his honors for all the stuff he's done this year.
Yeah.
My thing is, I look at the players first. Like, bro, y'all had it good.
Great.
Right? All the fans come to watch. You go from the era of back then with the 80s to Jordan, and they saying they best player every game. And now, even LeBron carried that torch for a while. Yep. Now we get to a point where we're like, all right, well, we're begging the stars to play. We're saving them for the playoffs. It's like, come on. So now we have these issues.
Here's the other thing.
About.
Let me chime in real quick because to Shady's point, y'all have to understand, if players would have just done what Wembanyama's doing, I'm going to play. I'm just going to play 28 to 32 minutes a game. Everybody wins. Fans are happy because you get to see Wemby. Wemby's happy because he gets to play longer. The team is happy because you get to sustain Wemby's health. Instead, people wanted to OD, and they wanted to abuse it, and I'm not going to play at all. Wemby's only played, Kieran, can you look it up when you have a moment? I think Wemby's only played 1,900 minutes this season. Comparatively, Luka's played like 2,500 minutes this season.
He's played like the equivalent of like 12 less games.
Yeah, like Wemby's only played 1,900 minutes, but Wemby will hit the game threshold. The NBA was just like, bro, we just want y'all to play. Yeah. We don't even care how long you play.
Yes.
Like, we just want y'all to just play.
But this is, I'm so surprised that you two have this tape because I listened to y'all sit up here during the whole Pro Bowl conversation and talk about how much of a joke the Pro Bowl is now because anybody can get in and there's alternates here and the fifth string quarterback is getting into the Pro Bowl and all these things. This is the road the NBA is headed down. It's just 3 superstars this year, but what happens when it's 7, 8, 9, 10 superstars that don't make the 65 game threshold? And now we have the 8th man off the bench who's an all NBA first team selection. Like, so that's terrible.
You talking about a superstar game when it comes to the Pro Bowl. What's gonna happen is a lot of these superstar basketball players, they're gonna see a guy like Luka doing all this great work and don't get credit for it.
Yep.
They're gonna play them games.
Yeah.
They're gonna make sure we play them games.
Yeah.
The game I want to miss, you know what? It's a back-to-back. No, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Because I done did too much. Yeah. I'm balling. I'm doing all this.
Played 19 minutes.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
And I think
I can see that being the fix, but is that not also a problem? Whenever a fan buys a ticket, they want to see a competitive game, and then someone plays the first half, and then they're sitting the second half. Or, I really want to see LeBron play. He sits out, and then you have a bunch of players out there playing. You're watching more minutes of not LeBron James basketball.
But
that would piss me off more.
But you'd rather see it than not see it.
Yeah, you rather see it than not see it, bro. At minimum, it's a lesser of an evil.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lesser of an evil that the players have unfortunately created. Let's get some super chats to get out of it.
I'll add this in there. The NBA, each player, there's a 12 to 15% increase in injuries on each team in the NBA, as it is over the last couple of years. We're not in the era where most of the league is playing 82 games. It's just not going to happen anymore. So I can agree on the time, but also at the same time, we're punishing the wrong people. We're I understand being upset about load management and whatnot. Having a 65 game limit is ruining what honestly didn't. That's the problem that needs to be fixed now, and it's a much bigger problem than the load management, in my opinion. Having Anthony Edwards not be an All NBA player, that's awful. That's way worse than you missing 1 or 2 games that you. I'm sorry.
The only thing is, bro, if he only played 60 games,
gotta play.
Like, that's like playing 12 NFL games. I'm just not crying a tear for a player who only played 12 games. Like, oh, he should have been in all that. Bro, play.
I'm gonna say because TJ's not here. Apples to beans.
Yeah, that's
not
to
me.
Apples to beans.
To me, let's go back to school. The first grade is attendance. You can only score so high if 15% of your grade is attendance, and then 25% is pop quizzes, 35% is final exam, 40% is homework. Yeah. But if you don't show up, you can't get an A.
Yeah.
In first grade and college in the back, even in college in Texas. In Texas, we had them little clickers. If you ain't checking in, if your clicker wasn't present.
You got an
have
X
your
for the
homie.
day. Yeah.
Hey,
It's not
take
the
my
same
clicker.
sport.
Hit that clicker for me.
Facts. Yeah.
It's life, Kieran.
Yeah.
If you come to work however many times, and here,
It's just not the same thing.
Oh, your checks is getting cut, Kieran. Best
Nah,
believe
yeah.
it. You,
Like,
you show up to
it's
60 out of 82 shows.
Y'all don't have to understand
Yeah.
being.
It's a
Like,
life
y'all don't have to
principle.
explain being adult. Explain leaving 3 of the best basketball players in the world off All NBA because of a dumbass rule when they missed about 5 games.
They gotta play.
Explain
Yeah.
that.
they gotta
You
play.
have to explain that.
Show
to me.
up.
Yeah.
I
Guess these super chats we can get out of here. G.
Listen, our resident comedian Tall Up
340.
340 jumped in the building and said, I won't lie to you, you can only blame players for this.
Told
Do
you.
we not remember how bad that load management stuff was? I had a friend drop $1,000 on an NBA ticket for LeBron to rest and drink alcohol on the bench.
Okay, can I ask y'all this? Let's get to the bottom of it. What's the problem with the NBA? Because it's a billion different things, but nobody has a solution. It's load management. It's too many threes.
Yep.
It's
Not enough defense.
It's not enough defense. It's all of these different things. What's the fix? Because it's been proven taking more threes is going to lead to winning basketball games. So that's just not going to be fixed now. Basketball's been figured out to that point. That's where the sport's evolved. So what's the fix? Everyone complains about it, but nobody has a fix for it. What do you want to see out of these dudes?
But Karen, you a fan, right?
Yeah.
So LeBron, whoever it is, you got all them jerseys. You said when you put your jersey on, you want to see him play.
Of course I want to see him play. I
All right,
understand that being a problem. What's
so
the fix?
now? So when they weren't playing, and fans like you going to the games, not seeing your star player, you got a problem. Like, man, I would save all this money. Now you make good money, so you don't have to do this. But there's some people that I learned when I retired.
I know.
Yo, they save their money for certain games.
yeah.
And I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo, you really a fan? So I did all that. My son, every day he's doing the LeBron James move or the Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go see him. And then guess what? He ain't playing. Oh, damn, is he hurt, Dad? Nah, man, they're saving him for next week.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that.
I hear
because
you.
them same
That's not right.
fans,
That's not right.
them same fans,
That's not right.
It's nasty.
bro, they pay our bills for real.
Yeah.
Even though we the rich ones and all that, yo, the people that saving their money, they pay our bills.
But what's the fix, though?
65 games. Because I'll tell you this much. In about a year, 2 years from now,
They finna be playing.
and you're like, hold up, I'm hurt. You know what? I gotta get this first team all pro. Because I'm thinking about when I retire, when I look at my numbers compared to these other guys, well, I got 10 all NBAs, I got 2-3 MVPs. That matters.
And when the NBA playoffs,
it either goes one of two ways. Hold on, real quick. No, real quick. Let me just because it either goes one of two ways. Either the players, yes, I'm gonna play through this injury, and now fuck myself up even more by getting hurt and extenuating that injury, or players are just like, you know what, all NBA don't matter that much to me. I'm taking care of myself.
They're not gonna say that.
All right,
They're not gonna say that.
So when we have Tyrese Halliburton pop his Achilles, Jason Tatum pop his Achilles,
Damian
Lillard pop his Achilles, when we have a LeBron groin injury, when we have a Luka hamstring injury, when we have all of these different things that are going to affect playoff basketball, which is the one thing that nobody complains about being a higher quality product. Whenever that happens, then what's the answer going to be? Because we're seeing injuries at a higher level, season-ending injuries that are going to have players miss an entire season the year afterwards in the playoffs, career-affecting injuries in the playoffs at a way higher rate than we ever had. But we have a problem with one thing, but we can't fix the other. The league has thought about shortening the game, shortening the season. Oh, we don't want to do that because the 82-game season, it's what the NBA's been based off of. But you don't acknowledge that the game's actually changed. It's just more complaining about it. Oh, well, they're going to do that. And it just creates another problem. This is another problem that has been created.
But I'm not talking about the injury part.
No, I know. But the 65-game limit is another problem now.
I know, but there's a lot of games where they're doing it because the players are not playing.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, so now we're doing this so players will start playing.
Okay, but what about the other problems that it fixed?
Well, you're not gonna hold up, man. You're gonna fix every problem. Of
course,
NFL is the top sport in America. We still have our own problems, so you're not gonna fix everything. But what we're trying to do is how can we help it out? How can we make it better? Yeah. I guess I'm telling Trey is players are not gonna say that shit. We gonna forget about all NBA and all.
That's what legacy.
That's never gonna happen.
If you start seeing the 8th man off the bench as the all NBA first team, players are gonna be like, yeah, I don't care.
Because the league is still deep. Like, who's gonna be first team All NBA this year? Based off games played, you got it pulled up.
Shoot, Shay's gonna be there.
Yep.
Jalen Brown.
Yep.
Jokic. He's gonna hit there.
Is Jokic gonna hit?
Wemby, Jokic is gonna play the last 3 games. Oh, Wemby, and then Tyrese Maxey, Kawhi Leonard, possibly.
See, you always, you know what I'm learning. You always be happy with whoever it is, though.
Think about that. That's gonna be if Luka doesn't get this exception, Tyrese Maxey, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, one of those guys is gonna be a top 5. One of those guys is gonna be an all.
Nobody's gonna look that crazy. Maxey people might look at. But like,
who's the part of Maxey? Hold on, before he got injured, they were saying he was about to be MVP.
Of course, I'm just saying when you think about the names, Kevin Durant, that name is a first-team All-NBA player. Ain't nobody gonna trip on. Jalen Brunson,
Maxey in the next 6 years is gonna be a name like that.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
then I don't think anybody gonna trip.
Yes, you won't trip with any
Donovan
names.
Mitchell maybe. Donovan Mitchell can make it.
Yeah, nobody.
It's still. None of those guys are the top 5 players. They're not even close to being the top 5 players.
I just don't think anybody gonna trip.
Nah, because they great players.
Correct. Yeah. Like you right, but ain't nobody gonna trip because they still great players. You start having like all NBA players be.
What's the guy that got that got in trouble? He left the league from as Ivy. He started bleeding.
Jaden Ivey.
That's
he started being.
They're gonna have Denny
NBA.
Avdia as an All NBA player, by the way, from Portland. He's probably gonna make an All NBA.
That's fair. He made his first All Star. He balling.
He is a hooper.
He is a hooper.
He'll be a 13 All NBA player.
But yeah,
so All NBA like
you want Jalen Johnson to win an All NBA award as it is right now for the Hawks.
Jalen Johnson's nice.
He is nice.
He is
nice. Triple double.
He's nice. But is he an All NBA player this year?
Double, I think. Yeah,
he's nice.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
nasty.
As long as it doesn't impact the first team. Yeah. That's what matters.
It's severely impacting the first team.
Like Nolan Powell would be like our issue.
Yeah, if he was a first team All NBA player. But anybody making the third team, ain't nobody tripping. Where we at with these super chats?
Last couple ones I got. Central Cast jumped in the super chat and says, "See, this is how Acho should have taken the take, which is if they make this exception, then they should just get rid of the rule or change the rule because those people who had those issues need an exemption." I think that's kind of what you said. Bojangle 2213 said the 65 game rule needs to be updated. I get it was for load management, but now dudes who are actually hurt are getting the short end of the stick. And then Central Cast followed up with another one and said, "Here's a great analogy. I send money every day to get my super chat read, and Trey knows this. If he don't read it, we're all on his head." And then last one we got from our, again, resident comedian Tall Up 340 said, "Slowing the pace down, quote, playing defense will fix a lot of these injury problems."
No, it won't.
But also, you shouldn't have to adjust. The game is the game.
Yeah.
The game is the game. The playoffs are going to have 110-point averages for teams that win games because they're going to take that many threes. Yeah. And I wouldn't say OKC is a bad defensive team, would you?
No.
I would say last year, a lot of the teams that were on runs, they were good defensive teams. So it is what it is.
Speaking of being on a run, Rome.
Oh, wow.
I kept the streak alive. No. I took some L's.
Oh, man.
No.
But this was a dub. The quick 500 to make 2,600. This was a dub. Schroeder wasn't going to go over 6.5 points. This was a halftime bet. This was a halftime lineup, rather. A halftime
Schroeder
lineup.
Schroeder couldn't get 6.5 points?
At halftime, he had 0. So I was like, he ain't finna get 6.5. And it was 7. James Harden at halftime had 19. I was like, he's not getting 31.5. And then at halftime, the Lakers game hadn't started yet, but I knew Rui, he's a usual starter of last year. I knew he'd get busy. And then Şengün, the Warriors, they're just a small team. Look, code Speakeasy on PrizePicks. $5, you get $50 in lineups for free when you make your first $5 lineup. If you haven't signed up for PrizePicks yet,
I'm not signed up.
Do it.
Can you help me out?
I got you, bro.
I keep asking you, bro.
You would have made about 20,000 in the last 3 days just rocking with the kid. Hey, and subscribe if you haven't yet.
Did they do boxing? I picked the boxing to win.
Yeah.
I hit that ticket.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
That was a close fight.
Wait, I thought you said you was done, Shady.
I mean, I bet like $2,500.
Well, you got him and Joshua.
Okay. That's fair.
Josh was
Josh was
not that good.
Yeah.
Kieran, get us out, G.
Look, man, we appreciate y'all coming in here. We'll be back live tomorrow again. Back live at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 10:15 p.m. Central, 8:15 p.m. Pacific here in the Speakeasy. We do not respect Mountain Time unless Trey's daughter, Maylin, is in Denver. She's back in Denver, so we're not respecting it today. I'm Kieran Iggy Simple. It's been LaShawn, Shady, McCoy, Emmanuel, Acho, Social Trey, and everyone in the back. Make some noise in the back.
Hey!
Shout out to the gang in the back. We'll see you guys next time right back here in the Speakeasy.
Peace.